just getting stuff together. Pull up, come on through. I hope y'all are having a lovely Friday. I'm gonna give y'all plenty of time to pull up into the chat and come through. I got lots of good questions over on Instagram, so we have a lot to talk about. Just in general, there's a lot going on, so let's see. Hey, Amari, how are you doing? Y'all let me know, pull up. How are y'all doing? What are y'all snacking on? What are y'all drinking? I got my coffee. What's up, Reese? How's it going? I have my coffee, and I'm just eating some Ruffles because Ruffles, they just hit. They hit different. Is it me? I don't think it is. I think they hit different. And we're just going to chill out for a few minutes while we wait for people to funnel in. And if you have any questions that you want to ask that you didn't leave on Instagram or in the comments of my community tab, then just leave them in the chat and we'll try to get through everything. But I have the feeling we're going to be here for a minute, so no worries. Thank you, my miracle. It was a little dry today, so I added some moisturizer to it and put it in chunky twists and then took it down once my makeup was dry. So I think she's looking pretty cute. It's starting to shrink a little bit because, like, it's, you know, that's just what my hair does, but I'm mad at it. It's even prettier in person. I don't think the camera does it justice. But I don't think the camera ever does my big hair justice. Hey to everybody that's pulling up. I know it's been a hot minute, so I'm not expecting like a ton of people to be in this live because I stay ghosting y'all and I don't mean to. It's just that life be lifing, so I understand. And it's a Friday. I'm sure a lot of y'all are out enjoying yourselves, having a good night, all that good stuff, going on dates. How many of y'all been going on dates? I've been failing at dating, and I'm okay with that. We're going to talk about that later. But hopefully at least a couple of y'all have been, you know, getting it right. What's up, Andrea? How are you doing? I have so many comments that I need to reply on my other videos, but I saw your comment that you were reading The Losers duet. Changes your life, doesn't it? I love those books. Like, they're so positively filthy, and I love every single second of them. Let's see. It's too hot to be in the streets. No, I feel that because the dogs wanted to go out today. We were like, nah, nope. It's too damn hot for that. And they were just looking at us like, it's not too hot for us. And I'm looking, it's too hot for you too. No, you're keeping your booty in here. Copper and Ellie are doing great, even though it's been a little sad in the house, but we have a new addition to the household, so I'm going to bring him up here later so y'all can meet him. Hopefully he'll act right. He's a baby, so he's a little puppy, so hopefully he'll act right. I finished all 3 of those books. I was clutching my pearls and reaching for the entire time. Yes, but like, I always tell people the thing with The Losers duet is that yes, it is raunchy, like the smut is heavy. It is probably like spice level, probably one of the spiciest books that I've read. But I think what enhances the spice is that the characters all just work. Like the way that they all fit together, like their relationship together, and none of them outshine one another. Yes, it was equally a great love story. And I love how like you see all of them coming together in their own little ways and like all reconciling their own relationships, but also like developing this one like big family. Like, listen, found family will get me every time. I love me some found family. Give me some found family with some romance and a little, you know, and really in there. So yeah, Harley the Rude did it with that one. I need to read their other books because I think it's Her Soul to Take or something like that. I think it's a series, but I think that's like a shifter, like a monster shifter romance kind of situation. But I like that too. I mean, at this point, I'm just a book whore. I went from just wanting like a regular like fantasy with like no romance, no sex, to just like a straight whore. And I'm okay with that. So what are y'all up to? We'll probably like give it another couple minutes for some other people to come in here, but we have a few things that people asked about. Of course, people want life updates and I have plenty. Y'all wanted to know my thoughts on the Black Girl Curls drama, and I don't know if there's more drama with them. I think I know the drama y'all are asking me about. I'm assuming the drama with Narada and his post on TikTok and the whole thing with split ends and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that. Let's see. I had some questions about bookish stuff as well. And then a couple of you guys had questions about like endometriosis, PCOS, and like different tips and stuff like that. So we can talk about that too. And I honestly, like, I feel like when it comes to the endo stuff, I feel like I need to do some updated videos because I have a couple of videos on like pain management and stuff like that, but they're old. Like they're a good, like at least 5 to 6 years old, maybe a little older. I can't believe I've been on YouTube that long. So I need to update those videos for you guys, but we'll talk about that too. But how are y'all doing tonight? I am trying to do okay. The girl's been sick. I feel like I'm trying to get a sinus infection, and I'm doing great right now because the medicine is like doing what it's supposed to do. But earlier, I was looking a little questionable. Like I was sitting here doing my makeup and it just kind of felt like I was floating in the ether. Like I didn't feel like I was here. What's up, Rachel? Welcome. So, yeah, I'm not feeling the best today, but I don't feel terrible. Life has been really, really strange. I feel like every time I pull up on this app, just something else has happened. Like, I feel like our household can't get a break. Sometimes life is just like that, but we've all been kind of like recovering from losing another pet. Those of you who don't keep up with me don't know that our oldest dog, Bella, passed away about a little over a month ago now. So that was difficult because, you know, we're trying to celebrate mom, like getting over her cancer treatment and everything. And then like, she can't even really enjoy that because like, literally it was like, as soon as she got over that, our poor baby, she was just like, she couldn't do it anymore. So, we lost our baby girl. And it's been really hard on Copper. And then on top of that, and something that we just didn't catch, like he got really, really sick. And at first we just thought that it was just, he was sad. Because if you guys remember when Z passed away and I told you guys how like Bella just like, she wouldn't eat and she was just really, really depressed. And like, it was to the point where we were afraid that she was going to pass away then because she was just in such a deep state of mourning. Hey guys, everyone coming in, what's up? So we just thought that Copper was going through the same thing, and he was, but he also ended up contracting hepatitis. We don't know how he got it. But he was just really, really sick. Like all of a sudden he lost like a ton of weight. He was eating, but he wasn't keeping it down. He was running a fever. And eventually we were just like, there's no reason for him to like he's been to the vet. They've given him, you know, medications and it's just not sticking. Like there's no reason he should still have a fever. There's no reason he should be this thin because y'all know Copper is swole. He's downstairs. He's okay. But yeah, he went through it. So he's going to be okay, but there was a good moment there where they were really trying to prepare us for the fact that they may not have been able to keep him alive. So they've like flushed out his liver and everything. And he's doing a lot better, but he's still not as swole as he was. We're still trying to get more weight on him and just trying to get him to eat. And unfortunately, I think that this might affect him for the rest of his life, unfortunately. Like I said, we don't know how we got it. Like, we haven't taken him to the dog park because we were waiting to take him to the dog park until he had like his updated shots and everything. So the only thing that we can put together is that maybe he got a cut on our deck outside, because a lot of animals hang out there, and we try to do a good job of sweeping it and, you know, spraying it off and everything. But that's the only way that we can think that he would have even remotely come in contact with hepatitis. So it's been a little scary around here and a little sad, because it was like we lost her, and then like 2 weeks later they were telling us like we needed to prepare for the possibility that like we could be keeping him comfortable. Y'all, I have aged like 10 years over the last month. Like, it has been a lot, but I'm just happy that he's here. And then we did end up making the snap decision to get a puppy. We have a new little golden doodle. His name is Hank. No surprise, my country ass brother named him because Hank. Who names dog Hank? A country ass boy. He is a little over 3 months old. We got him like a week ago. So he has, now Copper has someone to play with, because he was just so like depressed and so lonely, because like we have Ellie obviously, but cats don't really play like that. Like, unless they grow up with the dog, like from them being a kitten to them being grown, they're not really gonna play with your dogs like that. So Ellie, like, she gets along with Copper, but she doesn't play with him. Like, and he was just used to having someone with him. So now we have Hank, and I'll get him and bring him up here in a little bit so you guys can meet him. He is positively precious. Like, he is so fluffy and soft and cute. Like, he doesn't look real, and he is just like the most adorable little golden doodle of life. But I think he's gonna get big, because he, like, his paws are huge. Like, he's already large for his age. And fun fact, our next door neighbors actually have his brother. So he's going to have a little playmate like right next to him, someone that he can go over and play with. So I'm hoping that as Copper continues to feel better, like, he'll actually try to interact with Hank more, because he needs someone to play with. Copper is not old. He's only like 7 years old. So he needs someone to play with, and he needs someone to keep him company. And right now he's just kind of looking at Hank like, I'm not feeling it. But we'll see. We'll get there. Let me go back, because a lot of you guys have hopped in. Let's see. What's up? Doing okay, getting some things in order for this event that was moved up. Ooh, what event? What are you doing? I'm nosy. I want to know. Glad to hear Copper is on the mend. Hopefully it doesn't affect him too much in the future. That's what I'm hoping, because right now they have him on a medication for his liver. So he's done with the antibiotic. He's finished with that, but they have him on a medication for his liver, and it does say that it's for long-term liver support. So I feel like there may be some damage there that's just going to be there, but I pray that, you know, he'll at least be mostly back to normal. Like, if all he has to do is take a pill to help, you know, keep his liver together, and he can get his weight back, I think he'll be good. Let's see, sending hugs to your mother. I work in chemo infusion, and I can't express how amazing the patients are with everything they're battling. They're so caring, and I just love that job. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Look at you out here saving lives. But I mean, it's no shock to me that the people who like follow me and support me do dope things every day. But she's doing really well. She actually did have a bit of a scare last week, which was why I disappeared last week, because I had lots of things set up. And she had a scare while I was in the middle of filming. And I don't know, Andrea, if you have seen this happen before, but so obviously I just told you guys, like, we got a puppy. And so when this happened last week, we had the puppy for maybe like 4 or 5 days. Like, he'd been in the house, we've been taking care of him, we've been crate training him and everything. And obviously, like, me and mom are home, so like we were with the dog like all day. And so she went to one of her Livestrong classes that day. And when she came back, she comes into the house, She looks at me and my dad and says, "Whose dog is that? That's a cute dog. Whose dog is that?" And at first my dad thought that she was like trying to play with him. Like he thought that she was like joking. But then like we came to the realization that she was not joking. Like she legit did not know who Hank was. And so we were like, "Mom, do you know what today is?" She's like, "Yeah, I know what today is. I went to class." I'm like, "Okay, so what day is it?" Didn't know what day it was. We keep asking her questions. She doesn't know anything from like the last like 2 weeks. All of her short-term memory is gone. And at that point, like, we're thinking like she's having a stroke because her face was drooping a little bit and she looked confused, and she was talking fine, but she just didn't look right and her eyes didn't look right. And so we ended up having to take her to the hospital, and she like literally, it was like the longer she sat there with the EMTs, the more she forgot. It was like all of her short-term memory was just completely wiped out. She knew who we were. Like she knew who me and my dad and my brother were. And she knew like Copper. Like she knew we had one dog, but she didn't know who the other dog was. She didn't know any of the things that we had done over the last week. She didn't know the day. She didn't know who the president was. Like she didn't know what country she was in. And mind you, all of this, like her memory is literally like lapsing this bad. And she had driven home by herself, didn't even remember coming home. And they think it was like a really like small UTI that caused it, that affected her brain. She has nothing else going on. She didn't have a stroke. They did tons of workup and stuff. They kept her on the neuro floor for an entire night. But all of her memory is back with the exception of that one day. Like she remembers getting up that day, and she remembers leaving the house that day, but she doesn't remember anything else that happened after that. So it was really freaky. And I mean, like, I don't think most people would think that like something as simple as like a really small UTI would cause that kind of thing, but apparently it's like really common in people who are much older and people who have heavily compromised immune systems. So we've been keeping an eye on her like over the last week, because I mean, that's just terrifying. Like I was just standing there just thinking like, am I potentially going to have to deal with, like, after all of this, potentially going to have to deal with the idea that like tomorrow my mom could wake up and not know who I am? I've been through a whole lot of scary shit, but y'all, that was like extra scary. Like it was a little bit more than I could handle. We got her through it, but that was terrifying, because it's like I've had family members who have like Alzheimer's and dementia, and it's something that's scary, but stuff like that usually doesn't just like pop up and happen like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's usually like a progression. Like you don't just wake up one day and not know where you are or who you are or what you've been doing for the last 2 weeks, you know? So that was terrifying. And thankfully they said that they don't think that she has any signs of Alzheimer's, early onset Alzheimer's or dementia. So I don't think that's something we'll have to worry about, but with her immune system being compromised, I guess we're just going to have to keep extra watch on her, just try to keep her as healthy as she possibly can be, because she still has like immunotherapy treatments and stuff every month, every 3 weeks. So that's all that she has left up until the end of the year. And on top of that, like her oncology people, like they know that she was hospitalized, but they haven't gotten back with her about any of that. So we don't know if there's an added effect of what she's taking, that like we don't know if that's a side effect or what. You know. And the people that are working at the hospital, like they were really great and they were as thorough as possible, but there's only so much that they know, because like they don't work in oncology, they don't work with cancer patients, you know. So it's a little scary. It's a little frightening. But we got her through it. Let's see. I'm having my first catering event after graduating culinary school. Oh, congratulations. It's so exciting. I am so hyped for you. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I already know it. Y'all, we got to lift one up for our girl, that this is going to be amazing, because I already know it is. And see, that's scary. I'm glad she was able to make it home, and I hope it was a one-time thing. Yeah, and like the really crazy thing was that when we were at the hospital with her, so they had done her workup in the ER, And they were like, this is the only thing that we see, so we're going to go ahead and give her intravenous antibiotic. So they gave her the antibiotic. She's just sitting there chilling. She's still kind of confused. And I would say maybe like an hour after the antibiotic had been in her system, it was like her brain like reset, and she just kind of stopped, and she looked at all of us and said, so how did I get here? And it was kind of heartbreaking because then she had that moment of like, did I crash my car? Like, did I hurt somebody? Because she genuinely did not remember getting in the car. She didn't remember anything. So a lot of that was like trying to get her to calm down, because she was just so convinced that, like, you know, maybe she had like crashed her car and hurt somebody. And thankfully that didn't happen. Like, I'm just thankful that it was like her long term was there, because she knew how to get home. She knew where her house was. She knew who we were. But that was still very terrifying, and that could have ended really badly. And I was just thinking, like, she was supposed to stop at the grocery store, and if she had remembered to go to the grocery store, that whole day could have ended up totally different. So yeah, we got guardian angels looking out for us. We really do, because it's always some ish going on in this house. I just want her to be healthy and happy and okay. So let's see. I'll post how the event goes when it's over. Yes, let me know. I want to know. Let me hype you up. I have no doubt that it's going to be amazing, because all of y'all are amazing. But yeah, that's what's been going on here with my family. Like, we're doing good, but we're just kind of coping. Life just feels different. Like, I know not everybody is, you know, into like having pets and stuff like that, but losing a pet really is akin to losing a person that's in your life. Like, especially when you've had your pets as long as we had, like Z and Bella, like I've had more years with them than I had without them, you know? So animals can be a very important fixture in your life, and especially when you're talking about like cats and dogs, like they're very affectionate. They know you, they get you, you get them. Like they're definitely like emotional support creatures, and it's really sad and it's really hard. And on top of that, watching your other pets grieve is also really, really sad. So it's been a lot. We've really been going through it. But we're just trying to like stay positive. And especially with everything going on now, like a lot of you guys have been asking me about my career, and I'm really excited because like there's been more jobs popping up in the immediate area that I'm in, because like there's been options, but they've been like in Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, and like I will commute if I have to, but I would also like to take that money that I would like spend commuting, you know, spending on gas. I will take that and put that in my savings account, you know. So if I can avoid, you know, spending all of my money to go to work, I would like that, because I'm just over working from home. Like I'm over working from home. I've enjoyed what I've been doing, but I also know that if I don't work outside of this house, I'm not going to leave. Like, because I have no reason to. Like, I go get groceries and I go to the library, and like that's about it. I have no motivation to go anywhere. Like, I need to get out of this house. And at the end of the day, like there is nothing within like the career path that I have taken that I want to do that I can do from home. So it's just time. It's time for me to move on from that part of like working from home. I made stuff shake. Of course, like I'm gonna have to kind of keep an eye on like what's going on with mom. She's supposed to be going back to work at the start of this next school year. But we'll see what happens. So far, she's been doing well enough that I think she'll be okay. But I think that it's going to be a transition. Like, I don't think she would have been doing as well as she is now if she had continued to work, if that makes sense. I don't think she would have been okay, because teachers have no support. It's a stressful job, and they don't have any hands-on support. They don't have teachers' assistants. I don't know what states y'all are in, but out here, they don't have assistants. So I think that the treatments would have been a lot harder on her body if she was dealing with that level of stress while she was going through it. Especially because a lot of people were trying to push her to go back to work. when she was doing radiation. And I just told her, I was like, you don't have to let other people's opinions rule what you do. If you don't feel like you can handle doing radiation and teaching, then don't. Like, you have paid into the system, you have paid your dues, you have done your time for this exact moment so that you can have the resources that you need when you need it. So use them, take advantage of them. Like, don't feel bad about that. And I mean, chronic illness baddie over here, I'm going to tell you to do what you need to do for you, because nobody understands the way I do. Like I get it. OMD Bree, you be going through it. I do. I be going through it. Sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, I feel like there just needs to be like some type of embargo on like bad stuff like in my household right now. Like if God could just keep that for a little bit, just for like a good solid 30 days. Like if I could just have a month of nothing popping up and just like good stuff, I'll take it. I won't ask for nothing else. I'm nosy. Are you dating? So I've been talking, but I can't say I've actively been dating. Have I met some really interesting men? Absolutely. Have I been motivated to try to do anything with said interesting men? No. I'll be honest with you. These niggas are boring. Just boring. Nobody has a personality. Is it just me? Like, are y'all experiencing this? Because like I go out and like I meet people on the street, they can't hold a conversation. I'm on the apps, they can't hold a conversation. Like, I don't know. I guess to me, and maybe it's because I've been through a lot, but I want somebody who can like match me when it comes to like how silly I am and how much fun I like to have. I enjoy having fun, but I need somebody who can do that with me. Like I'm just not with that. And so I've been talking to a lot of different guys, and I just have not had the motivation to like explore any kind of relationship. They just don't feel like they're for me. And maybe it's because like I've loved and I've been in love, so I know what that looks like and feels like for me. And I don't see it. I just don't. Like, I've found really good potential sex partners, but not like partners. And I mean, for all of that, I could just like research and properly vet people and just get a dom, which I'm honestly thinking about. I'm not even gonna lie. Because at this point, like, what's the point? If I'm not going to have like a real relationship with you, I might as well have a well thought out, well planned out, consensual one. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. It would probably be safer for me with my body too. So I don't know, like, but yeah, girl, everybody's boring. Just boring as hell. Like, last week when we got home with mom, so I've been talking to this guy, and I mean, he's nice, but he just kind of seems to think he's a little bit more important than he is, like he has that kind of vibe. Like, his self-importance is like off the charts. But so like I get home, and I'm the type of person, like, y'all know, I'm kind of quiet. Like, I'm loud, but I'm quiet. Like, I do very well with solitude. And I'm the type of person that I'm not going to try to force a conversation if I don't want to. But I also appreciate, if I'm talking to somebody, I appreciate being able to just exist in silence with you as a partner, right? And so I get home and I'm on the phone with him and I'm telling him about like all the stuff that happened with my mom. Like, mind you, I'm fresh out of the ER, like still in the clothes I was at in the hospital. Like, I smell like antiseptic. Like, I am tired. I am exhausted. So I'm telling him about everything. And then I kind of just like hand the conversation off to him. Like, I told him, like, I'm kind of just, tired. Like, I'm just going to lay here, just like listen to what he has to say. And then this nigga had the nerve to get mad because I wasn't talking. And I'm just like, really? You can't say anything? He's like, he's mad at me. And he's like, well, I just don't understand why you're not talking. Like, I don't understand why you're so quiet. Like, I just got home from the hospital with my mother, who was still there, chilling in the neuro floor with McDreamy and them, getting her brain checked out. And you're over here mad because I don't want to have like a full-blown conversation at 1 in the morning. I don't know. There's just something about like, because to me, if I am existing in a space of like solitude and like quietness with you, that means that I like have at least a certain level of comfort with you. And the moment that you express to me that you don't like the way I express my comfortability, nah, I'm not on it with you. Nope, you just threw it out the window. Like if I can't be comfortable around you and express my comfortability with you, then it's not gonna work. It just won't. Let's see. See, I agree. I have had my oldest cat for 13 years now. And when I tell you that cat has set my... Yes, I would cry myself to sleep. And now she is here when I'm in pain. Yes, and I will tell you guys, so like when I got Ellie, because those of you who have been around for a while, you know that Ellie didn't grow up with us. She was my grandpa's cat, and he gave her to us right before he passed away, back when I moved back home. And so he had a lot of health issues, and she definitely was like an emotional support cat for him. It takes people out kind of how like loud she is and everything, but she's loud because she lived with an old man that kind of needed help with taking care of himself. So like sometimes like he would get so sick that he would like forget to feed her. And honestly, I don't think that he would have lived as long as he did if he didn't have her to take care of. So like she would just yell at him until he fed her and stuff like that. So Ellie is definitely like emotional support for me. And so like when I have really, really bad flare-ups, or like back when I was still taking all of the pain medication and everything, it was making me have panic attacks. And like whenever I would have a panic attack, like she would just like lay against my side and like help me through my panic attack. Like animals know, like they be knowing, and they are amazing. Losing her, although inevitable, will be painful. It will. And that's the thing. It's like, especially with cats, because I think for a lot of people, they don't necessarily get a lot of life with their dogs, depending on the breed and things like that. Because a lot of dogs from different types of breeding and everything can actually live much shorter lives. But cats, it feels like they damn near live forever. Like we almost got 20 years with Z. 20 years. I had her since I was a child. Like I grew up with that cat. So it's just a different kind of thing, you know? Like some people try to downplay it, but it is a big deal for real. Let's see. I hate that all chemo patients don't automatically get disability so they can get treatment. Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly how I feel. And I wish that people with any type of illness that they, you know, they have going on, chronic or whatnot, just had more support. But, you know, the way that our society is set up, let's see, not boring. I get that. Yeah, like just completely boring. Ain't got nothing to talk about. And then we'll get mad at you because you're not talking. And it's like, but sir, you're not interesting. I don't know, maybe work on you? Like, why are you mad at me? What's up, Chrissy J? Not McDreamy. Listen, I was up on the neuro floor. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll find me like a fine-ass neurosurgeon or something. But then again, in every show, movie, whatever, neurosurgeons be like hella toxic, so maybe not for me. Is this the guy that was long distance? No. So that ended up not working out because he has some weird stuff going on, some insecurities going on, and like we were kind of locked in for a minute. Like we were on it for like a good couple months. But I'll be real with y'all, more than anything, outside of the fact that I felt like he had way too many insecurities about his past relationship, and he kept bringing that shit up, which was like really, really annoying. Like I understand it, but at the same time, like if you're gonna move on, move on. Because what got me was like he was always talking about his last relationship, like last girlfriend, even though like he had an ex-wife who cheated on him. So like I could see if that was the one you were hung up on, but you talking about some little girl. Listen, just stupidity. But like real talk, he had a problem with alcohol and I dodged a bullet. Like he definitely had an alcohol problem. And listen, I am very understanding of addiction. I have my own issues with addiction. unfortunately, it's something I have to live with. So I'm very understanding of it, but at the same time, like, I also have to protect my mental health when it comes to that. And I'm sure y'all can guess that addiction and addiction don't mix. And I think I dodged a really good bullet with that one, because eventually I was just like, why is it every time I'm on the phone with this man, like, he is like, seems like he's always getting blackout drunk, like always getting sick in the morning. Like, sir, you are 34 years old. Why are you out there partying like a rock star? Like, you are like, you just turned 21. Nah. So it definitely was a bullet that needed to be dodged. She had a lot of work that he needed to do, and the way that it ended, like the way he handled it, was not good. But he did me a favor. So he did me a favor. What's up, Precious? It's been a minute. And you know I am a mess. I'm always a mess. Chrissy J said, I had to literally have a stroke to get disability for the 2 years I was fighting for my life with fibromyalgia. Yeah, like, my dad didn't get disability, and mind you, he had already had a stroke. He'd had a TIA, he'd had a stroke. He didn't get disability until he was diagnosed with a blood clotting disorder. And the only reason he got disability was because he was forced out of his job. Like, if we're being 100%, he was forced out of his job. And that's really the only reason why he ended up getting disability. What's up, Bree? Girl, my bestie and I have been noticing the same pattern. It's like the men nowadays want to bond over trauma and negative stories. Listen, I am so tired of hearing about grown men's exes. I'm so tired of it. Like, I feel like we should talk about the exes once. You got one time. And after that, I don't want to hear about them anymore. I personally, like, I don't bring up my exes. And then, like, it just speaks to how, like, genuinely toxic a lot of these people are, because when they hear that I don't hate my exes, like, they will be like, nah, like, you're a liar, like, you're in denial. Like, I don't hate my exes. And I don't know, maybe it's because, like, I love hard and I've been loved hard. And yeah, breakups hurt, like, going through stuff hurts, but I don't hate them. I don't wish them, I don't have any ill will towards the people that I have loved in the past. And they've never done anything to me to warrant me hating them for the rest of my life. And hating other people is hard work, okay? So, like, a lot of guys get really weirded out when I say that I don't have, like, hangups over my exes. Like, once I'm over it, I'm over it. And that's it. I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm not going to keep harboring over it. It's done. We were together. We had our moment. We had our time. We're not together anymore, and that's okay. I hope he's happy. I hope he hopes I'm happy. But whatever he's doing is none of my business. I can't change the past. All I can do is learn from it. And that's it. And a lot of people don't want to do that. Like, they just want to continue to rag on their exes all the time, instead of actually acknowledging that, hey, maybe you were part of the problem too. You were there too. Maybe you took some shit you shouldn't have taken. Maybe you just did some things you shouldn't have done. Like, we all have to be accountable for our own stuff, because nothing happens in a vacuum. But I am so tired of grown men who will not let the exes go. And as much as they swear that we as women are overly emotional beings, they stay emotional. Too emotional. But this is what happens when you refuse to go to therapy and take care of yourself. Like, it truthfully. Let's see. As a bisexual woman who prefers women much more, I find listening to heterosexuals talk about dating like someone describing Jumanji. That's hilarious. Listen, my biggest toxic trait is being attracted to men, honestly, because I wish I were attracted to women. I wish I could find even the smallest inkling of me that was attracted to women, because I promise you, my life would be a lot easier. It really would. But no, I had to like men. I had to be just straight. And I hate that. If there's anything I don't like about myself, it's the fact that I'm attracted to men. So I'm just going to make something shake. And, I don't know. Like, I was talking to my mom the other day and I was saying how, like, ending up single for the rest of my life is not and never will be my greatest fear. And maybe that's why I'm just so unserious about this, because it really isn't my greatest fear. Like, I've never woken up one day and been like, oh my God, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. Like, that's just not my biggest fear. I mean, I have amazing community, and I think that probably is a big part of the reason why. But also, when I think about the men around me, the men in my orbit, that is not my biggest fear. Like, honestly, if anything, especially with a lot of the conversations that I've had with a lot of men over the last like 6-ish months while trying to get back into dating, my biggest fear is accepting being in a relationship with a man and having children with a man who was transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic. That is my biggest fear, because to me, I just know too much to willingly like bring another life to tie myself to somebody who has that much hate in their heart. And the thing that always gets me is that, like, a lot of the men that I've dated, it's not like they're overtly, transphobic or homophobic, right? Like, they're not like that. But then when you talk about having children, the first thing they say is, my kids can't be gay. My kids can't be this. My kids can't be that. And immediately, I'm done. Relationship over. Because how in the hell do you hate your own child and they're not even here yet? They haven't even shot out of there yet. And you already are fostering an environment of hatred towards your own offspring. Because I'm so tired of hearing well, it's about my line. What line? No one knows who you are, sir. Who are you? No one knows you. No one knows your family. You don't own shit. Your family doesn't own shit. What line are you trying to continue? This is not the royal family. Like, they be so delusional. I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, me personally, when I have children, it's because I want to raise good, decent human beings, and I want them to have a happy home. I want them to have a happy life. And just the thought, like, to me, it just feels so irresponsible as a potential mother to willingly have children with someone who harbors that much hatred in their heart. Because if you can openly say that before you even have the kid, nah, there's no hope for us when the kid gets here. there's no hope whatsoever. And it's very hard to find Black men who don't hold that sentiment. And for me, being alone, not getting married is nowhere near the biggest fear for me, because I just care too much about how I leave this earth. Like, I care too much about the children that I could leave here. Like, at this point, like, if I really want to be a parent, I would rather just do IVF and do it myself over being stuck with a man who hates his children. I'm good on that. Let's see. I missed so many comments. I can't deal with a guy that's stuck on past relationships. Why do we have to be healers? Exactly. And I think for me too, because I have taken so much of my life and dedicated it to moving on, not just physically, but emotionally, and mentally, coming into dating, I'm realizing that a lot of people at my age are not there. And it's making it really, really hard for me to find a relationship that feels like we're equally yoked, because I may not be where I want to be financially, and I may not necessarily be where I want to be career-wise, but those things in my mind are easy to get. Once I get on the train, I don't hop off. It takes time to work on your emotional and mental stability. And it's even like I was telling my mom how, like, for me, the realization, like, that I am dating sober and realizing how many of my relationships probably should have ended, how much toxic stuff I took on because I wasn't sober, not by choice, but because I had to not be sober, It was take those pills or stay at the ER all the time and still not be sober because they're still going to give you morphine. But spending all of that time sober and letting so many things slide and dealing with the emotional turmoil of that. And I was telling my mom, I was like, I genuinely believe that if I had been driving, I had been allowed to drive, I had been able to drive, I would have probably gotten my hands on some of the worst stuff you could imagine. And my inability to carry myself where I wanted to go, I feel like it saved me. Because now, like, sometimes I feel like I take stuff, like, really hard. Like, I feel like I take everything to heart. And, like, yeah, I've kind of had a really hard year. But sometimes I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm not new to tragedy, right? Like, I'm not new to difficult things. And I'm like, yeah, you're not new to it, but this is the first time in a long time that you've had to deal with it sober. And you understand why people relapse because it feels so raw and the world feels so loud. And for me to have come through all of this and then to willingly take on a relationship where that other person isn't willing to do the work to work on themselves, like, I can't, no, like, I cannot backslide. Nope, can't do it. Because this is going to be a part of my life forever. Like, you can't spend, like, almost 10 years on hydros and oxys in order to keep yourself mobile, and think that it's not going to affect the rest of your life. It's going to. And I'm dealing with the effects of that like, right now, you know? So I agree. Like, a lot of people want us to be healers when they enter into relationships, and I need them to be willing to do enough of the emotional work and labor on their own. Because I can't. I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed. I can't do that. Chrissy J said, I don't answer their questions anymore about past relationships, especially in the beginning. And I don't get asking about other men I'm talking to or dating. Yeah, exactly. That was one of the red flags with the guy that was long distance, was that he would constantly ask if I was, like, seeing other guys or, like, going on dates with other guys. And I have made it very clear, like, we're not exclusive at this moment. Like, we're getting to know each other. We're going to meet up. We're going to hang out. But if you want to meet up and hang out with other people, I'm cool with that too. Like, I'm getting my feet wet. So why are you over here worried about who's hitting me up? If you want things to be exclusive, you don't want this to just be we're kind of going on cute little dates thing. You want this to be a relationship. Say that. But you're not going to be clocking where I go, what I do, who I'm doing it with, because that's my business. And as long as I'm being safe and I'm not putting anybody at risk and I am being honest, that's all that matters. So why are you in my business? And that was another, like, really big red flag for me as well. And like I said, like, I understood that he had dealt with cheating in the past. So it's like, I understand that, but at the same time, I think for me, as someone who is very focused in relationships, I get really, really tired of other people projecting things that have been done to them onto me, you know? I just don't feel like I have the fight in me to constantly have to fight and prove to you over and over and over again that I'm not lying. Like, if we just started talking and you already think that I'm a liar and you just assume that I'm a bad person, why are we dating? If you think I'm a bad person, why are you trying to date me? No reason. And see, I feel the same about the men attraction. And I'm married. I'm mostly playing. I'm good. No, but I feel it though, because men are frustrating. We love them, but they're frustrating. That's deep onto hate. My husband is not like that, thank God. Yeah, like, and that's hard to find. It's incredibly hard to find. And I will say, dating while going to a women's college, it brought up a lot of stuff, because the way that some of them would come onto campus to see me and would talk about women and being in a space that was women only, listen, some of the conversations I've had with some dudes just simply about me being at a women's college were mind-boggling. A lot of men really don't like women. Straight up. There's a lot of miserable married couples out there. There are. And I don't want that for myself. I just don't. I would rather be alone, because the things that other people would do to me in a relationship, I would never do to myself. No. Legacy wear, be for fucking real. Exactly. No legacy whatsoever. Don't nobody know who you are. What's up, Selena? I told you would catch this. I told you we're going to be here for a minute. Let's see. The problem broken people are using time that they should be dedicated to therapy for dating, and they don't know how to date. Exactly. And I think that's kind of where I am, is that I'm like, for a minute I was like, am I the problem? And then I'm like, no, you've done the work, and now you're just waiting for someone who is equally yoked, you know? And I think that's my issue, is that I don't feel like I've found that. I don't feel like I've found someone who is as emotionally intelligent as I am. I don't feel like I have come across someone who has done the amount of work that I have. I've worked really hard to get to where I am. Like, this process has not been easy. And I'm not trying to backslide because of a man at all. Let's see. They really put no effort to better themselves, but expect the most from them. Exactly. Like, a lot of men put all of the emotional and mental labor on women and then wonder why we're unhappy. It's like, baby, you got to do some of that too. Like, you can't, it's not all on us. It's two people in a relationship. You got to do some of that work for yourself too. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how loyal of a partner that I am. It doesn't matter how good of a girlfriend, wife, whatever I am. If you are not able to trust other people, if you are not emotionally sound, if you do not have any type of confidence, there's no amount of fixing that I can do. There is none. That is something that you have to work on as an individual. I really have to get a better setup for live, y'all, because I just be struggling the whole time. Yeah, with that Keke Palmer situation, these men really need to listen. The men have been salivating with the insecurity, because first of all, like, it amazes me, especially like being on TikTok, because, you know, men on TikTok don't know how to be quiet. But a lot of them are like saying that women are capping and it's a double standard, and like trying to compare like how she was reacting to freaking Usher to like how women feel when men like are liking other women's posts on IG, which like absolutely no nuance, makes no sense. It's not the same thing. But in my mind, if I am in a happy, healthy, committed relationship, my man knows if that is my idol up on the stage, I'm gonna fuck it up. If Prince was still alive today and I went to a Prince concert with my hypothetical man and Prince told me to bust down, I would bust down. People are like, well, if roles were reversed, and freaking Rihanna pulled him on stage and gave him a lap dance, I would be cheering him on. I would be taking pictures. I would make sure that this moment was immortalized in video, because Rihanna thought my man was fine enough to pull him on stage and give him a little lappy lap. That's it. That's all that it is. You go home, Rihanna ain't gonna know who you are by the time she hits her next show. And I understand it's a little different for Keke, because like she is in the industry and those, like, they all run in the same circles. But at the end of the day, Usher was at work and Keke was engaging in Usher's work, because anyone who's a performer knows crowd is everything. Crowd work is everything. Can you imagine how much people would have like flamed her and played her if like Usher had walked up to her and started singing to her and she just like, because first of all, that would have been so disingenuous anyway. And on top of that, it's Keke Palmer. She do that with everybody. Everybody, she's like that, because that's just who she is. And if you are not confident in yourself, you probably, one, shouldn't be dating celebrities in general, but you damn sure shouldn't be dating a Keke Palmer. Just saying. But I feel like a lot of this too goes back to the fact, like, if we just go back to the fact that she grew all the way up after having that baby. I think a lot of people are hating because she had a baby and she just rose. Like, because if this were a reverse situation and she had gained a ton of weight and she had just stopped caring about her appearance and caring about her career and all that stuff, and, you know, she was really depressed and having a really, really hard time, then they would be ragging on her and saying that she's not showing up and taking care of her man and doing what she needs to do as a woman. So either way, you can't win. I think people are hating on her because she really had a baby and said, oh, I'm going to flaunt it. I'm going to be free. I am a mother. I am standing in all of my womanliness. And I am enjoying my life. And people hate to see that. They hate it. And the whole thing is just embarrassing. And then for him to actually get on the internet, on Blue Ivy's internet, and talk about that girl, talk about her clothes, when really it, like, let's be real, it had nothing to do with the clothes. He was just butthurt because of the way that she was looking at Usher. And sir, if she has never looked at you the way she was looking at Usher, then that is your problem. Okay? You need to be figuring out how to make her look at you like that. But in my mind, I'm like, she has to be into the man because the day before she was on Twitter talking about my man, my man, my man, my man. And then here you come embarrassing her. And this is why we can't say nice things about men. Because as soon as we do, what do? Embarrass you. Make you wish you never talked about. Just a mess. Let's see. That's part of it. If they don't like women but don't want to admit it, and they feel forced to engage with us but still miss the concept of patriarchy, like how? Exactly. And like a lot of people think that like when we say men don't like women, that we're just trying to say that they're like on DL, and that's not what they're saying. What we're saying is that men have been conditioned not to like us. They genuinely do not like us. Patriarchy is set up in such a way that men do not like us. And like that needs to be addressed. And a lot of times, like it's taken some time for me, but you can really tell a man who just genuinely does not like women, does not like the idea of women in general. And they need to have their friends, and they need to be on their own, and they need to go to therapy. And let that be it, truthfully. They hate the same system that they created as sterile. Exactly, because then they want to rag on us because, like, when we go on a date, we expect the guy to pay. We have certain expectations, and it's like, you're mad, but the only person for you to be mad at is you, baby, because y'all are the ones who did this. This is what y'all put together. You know, like, you don't get to say you want a traditional wife and you want traditional roles and all this stuff, but then get mad at us when we expect you to be traditional too. Don't make sense. They don't know what to do. They just scrambling, just floating in the ether, trying to figure it out. Here they go with the apples to oranges, please. Dusty's going right for each other. They will, absolutely. And the sad thing is, like, there are a lot of men out here who, like, can actually have some valid points, but then they mess it all up with all these false equivalencies and stuff. And it's like, you can't even have a real conversation because, like, you'll be right there on the edge of the point, and then you just veer off somewhere else and totally miss where you were going with it. Y'all hear Hank down there? He's mad because he wants Copper to play with him. I gotta bring him up here in a minute so you guys can meet him. He's super cute. First of all, it's Kiki. We don't even know Homeboy's name. Exactly. And we wouldn't have known Homeboy's name if it weren't for Kiki. She didn't reveal anything she hasn't already shown, mother or not. He needs to take a lesson from Stedman. Exactly. Take a lesson from all of them because, I mean, we've seen Beyonce in less. And she is mother. She is the mother of the Renaissance. Mother be mothering out here. Okay? It's just another excuse. It really is. Literally, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yep. All the time. And it just gets to the point where it's like, this is why we have to decenter men. Because it takes too much effort to care. Because nothing you ever do is right anyway. It's like once you have a child, you're supposed to give up all freedoms. That's what they truly believe. They believe that you should give up all of your freedom. They believe that you should just stop having fun. They believe that you should no longer be desirable to anybody but them, which is just ridiculous. Ridiculous, unnecessary, and embarrassing. Me personally, I don't want to be with a man that's not going to hype me up. I'm just saying. Literally, he needs to stay in his place. Yes, exactly. Piss me all the way. Like, the whole, like, all the discourse about this with Keke Palmer and her baby daddy / employee has just been ridiculous. It's been obnoxious because it's just menning, and I just want men to stop menning. I just want them to be quiet for a little bit, honestly. Because you give a man a little bit of money and make him feel like he has a little bit of power, and he will take that and run with it and walk all over you. And it's sad because we deserve better. And Keke gonna be just fine. Look, I truly feel like Keke was in a point in her life where she wanted to be a mother, whether she was married with someone or not. I think she got what she wanted out of that relationship, and I don't think she's going to have any issues with him not being around if that's what he chooses to do. But you don't get to disrespect her publicly and just think it's going to be okay. Like, no. And on top of that, that's our cousin Keke. We've been riding with Keke for a long time. Aquila and the Bee long time, okay? That's cuz. We gonna ride for Keke. So I don't know how he thought he was gonna come out here on Blue Ivy Carter's internet and say some shit with Keke's Wi-Fi password of all things and gonna come out here and talk about that woman. Nope. Nope. Words of affirmation are important, of course, with the action to match. Yeah. I think a lot of people in general struggle with words of affirmation, and I think sometimes people see it as validation, but it's important. It's important to know that you are appreciated and cared for by your partner. And a lot of times we don't hear that. And what do you do with that, you know? But they want those words of affirmation, because men will say all the time that they don't feel appreciated. They don't feel like people are, you know, taking their words seriously. Like, listen, I understand, because I'm dealing with some of that in my home life. Okay? But they don't give any of that back. And at some point, you can't act like you don't see the other people in front of you, but then expect them to continuously, you know, pour positivity into you and give you words of affirmation and, you know, make you feel validated, because you also have to do the work too. It's cyclical. Like, you can't just not do the work and expect to get the praise. It doesn't make sense. True Jackson VP. Period. Yes, like I love to see Keke getting her flowers, because she has done so much in this industry, and she has been such a prominent fixture in this industry for so long. It's sad that it has taken this long for her to be recognized the way that she should be recognized, you know? Like, when you think about all the people that have been placed ahead of her, and you think about how much talent she has and who she should have been allowed to be in the industry. Oh, so I love seeing her, like, doing her own thing, being on her grown woman tip. I love that for her. Like, that's just one person I just feel like we're all just kind of down bad for, truthfully. When she was a little girl acting up on the Medea movie, popping that gum. Yes! Listen, I'm not a Tyler Perry film girl, but I cannot play like there weren't moments in Tyler Perry films that were iconic, because there were. That's one of them. And I mean, let's be real. In a lot of ways, we probably wouldn't have the Keke Palmer of today if we didn't have Tyler Perry. So I'll thank him for that. Even though I don't appreciate the bad wigs, I'll say thank you for that. But yeah, y'all, that's been dating. It's been abysmal. Even though I did come across a guy that gives very much book boyfriend energy, but I don't know, y'all. I don't think my cervix is ready for that. I'm a little scared. If it goes anywhere, I'll report back. But that's about it. Like I said, honestly, I'm kind of at the point where I feel like it might be healthier for me to just do my research and find people in the area that are into kink and get a dom. I don't want to play with you. And I mean, a lot of people date their doms, so it wouldn't be out of, you know, the realm of possibility that I could end up finding a potential, like, serious partner in that. But if I'm being honest, like, I would say within the last 8-ish years, my most comfortable relationships have been consensually non-monogamous. And I think that speaks volumes. That in situations where our stuff was open and we had just very clear communication of what the relationship was, and we had a solid base of friendship, and we like equally discussed the things that we wanted, the things that we didn't, and we're just open and honest about it. Those were the safest that I felt like in a relationship. I think that says a lot. And one of them was a sex worker, and he was one of the sweetest people I've ever dated. I don't know. I think it's just a little bit difficult sometimes to find people that have it's not even just morals and ethics. It's just boundaries, and necessities when it comes to communication. Because I will be honest with you guys, another roadblock for me, because even though like what I'm looking for doesn't center around sex, the moment that someone hears that I have a chronic illness, especially a chronic illness that is related to my genitalia, they shut down, or they start to like try to handle me with kid gloves. And listen, I want to be folded like a lawn chair. Okay? I don't need you to handle me with kid gloves. Pick me up and throw me across the room, consensually, of course. But I don't want you to act like you're gonna like break me. Do I want you to be mindful? Absolutely. But the way that people kind of flip when they hear that I have a chronic illness is also really difficult, and also really, really frustrating, because I'm just sitting here and I'm like, it has been 5 years since I have gotten any dick. Okay? I haven't had any. None. And I have been preparing this thing for a long time. And you mean to tell me that as soon as I get it and I tell you that this is going on, you're just going to be like, oh, I don't want, listen, I don't want lightweight. I'm not lightweight. Okay? I'm not lightweight. I don't want lightweight. Who asked for that? Nobody. So that's another thing too, because it's frustrating, because men will kind of feel like they can tell you what it is that you need. And I'm telling you what I need, you know? And I think sometimes it scares people. And while I understand, I am very in tune with me. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And more so for me, like what I need is more so in the events of the aftercare, not the actual like during part. So as long as you're gonna take care of me and, you know, maybe run me a bath, you know, give me some ibuprofen, all of that, you know, the stuff that my physical therapy provides, because she does that too, you know, we would be good. Like I've been prepping this shit for a while, and nobody wants to step up to the plate. So that's also been really frustrating too, because as soon as that conversation comes up, it's like you see them flip. And I'm just trying to get my spine folded. I'm going to get my spine folded. It'll happen at some point, but it's going to have to be someone who has the guts, because apparently everyone's scared. Everyone is afraid of breaking me, even though you're not going to break me. I mean, like, I was doing all of this stuff with a larger than golf ball size tumor on my ovary. If I made it through that, I can do it without all the crap in my body. You know what I'm saying? But, you know. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm out of pocket. But it's true. And it can't be any surprise to you because y'all be reading the books I be reading. So it should come as no surprise that I am trying to get folded like a lawn chair. I'm trying to find somebody that's going to put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. And they don't want to do that. Lord, prayers for back breaking. Yes, like, break my back. Consensually, of course. Break my back. I'm with it. Like, so, you know, I don't know. It's like trying to find that balance when you have a chronic illness can be really, really frustrating. And it's weird too, because I also had partners back in the day that didn't take my chronic illness seriously. And so I also understand the fear of being with a partner who hears you saying that you're not okay and they only care about what they need and they don't care about what they're doing to you. And that's difficult too. And there's a lot of that I put up with, like I said, because I was not, one, healthy enough, but also, like, my senses were just dulled from all the pain medications and stuff. Like, I've even had partners who took it out on me because I couldn't, you know, reach orgasm because my medications prevented me from being able to do that. And so it's a fine balance, right? Like, do I want to be handled with kid gloves? Absolutely not. But I also know that how easily people can teeter into abuse when it comes to them feeling like they're not being satisfied sexually. So it's a balance. It's a balance. Yeah. Say it again. I didn't get waxed for you to tickle me. Exactly. Like, why? I'm not doing all of this for nothing. Like, if I look like I want you to fling me across the room, then you better fling me across the room. I'm just saying. I am a simple woman who has simple expectations, you know? And I'm bossy. There's only one place in my life where you can boss me around. And I expect you to do that shit. And if you can't, then that's okay. But I'm just saying. Boss me around, fold me up, like, bust down until my hips crack. That's what I'm trying to be on. But ain't nobody trying to be on that with me. I think I'm a softie. I don't know. I want to be caressed. And same, like, I want that too, but, you know, I don't know. I like a little bit of both. I like to mix it up. I like variety. You know, I'm not too wild, but at the same time, you know, a girl does have needs. Let me make sure that my phone is not trying to die. Okay, we're good. I'm about 30% left, but I'm close enough to where we can plug up and keep doing things. So yeah, I want my sex life back. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I used to have a great sex life, so it's weird that I don't have one anymore, and I like it back. So if I just had to focus on that and not focus on the emotional aspect, I mean, I'm cool with that too. You guys, some of you guys had asked me about how I felt about the drama with Black Girl Curls, and I'm questioning whether the drama that I know is the drama that y'all are talking about. Because I feel like every other week they, you know, they end somebody's shit, like making somebody mad. Like, I feel like they kind of just need to just be quiet. And I'm just assuming that this is going back to the TikTok that Narada did, where he was talking about one of his clients and split ends and making sure that cuts are, like, fully addressing those issues. And it ended up, like, blowing up, and people were saying that they were, like, you know, he was, you know, overdoing it and all of that. And I think Black Girl Curls hopped into it, and some other stylists hopped into it. You know, a lot of people that just love to hate on Narada, you know. Xavier! We need to talk. We haven't had one of our late night phone conversations in forever. I miss you. I'm assuming that's what we're talking about. Let's see. Two things can happen at once. You can caress while exactly like you can knock my walls out and still be gentle at the same time, you know? Because also what kills me is that like they will come up here packing. Like packing. And then just want to like tap it. That's not what I asked for. Like you thought you could put that in front of me and that I just want you if you're going to use it, use it. I'm about to get this live flagged. I'm just saying, like, I need, like, you can't come around flinging that thing in my face, and then when it comes time to get down with the get down, you just want to be lightweight with it. No, absolutely not. Feel you time and place for everything. Let's see. Yes, baby. We need to catch up for real, for real. Yes, Rada has been going off on TikTok for the best, and I'm loving it. Yes, like, look, I'm so happy to see more people on TikTok, because I'll be real with y'all. I don't know what I want to do with my Instagram, because a lot of the companies that I work with, the small companies that I work with, they're not really doing anything right now. And so while I love what I have been doing on there, I just don't, if I'm going to do all that work, I want to do it for smaller companies. And so I kind of don't know what I want to do with my Instagram right now. So I just haven't really been paying attention to my Instagram. And I have been over on TikTok. So when I saw that Narada had gotten on TikTok, I was lit, because y'all know I be on there with the book talk girlies. So when Narada popped up, I was like, the FYP knows what I need. The FYP knows that is my man, my man, my man. I feel like Narada is the only one that's going to get that title, my man, my man, my man, because no one holds us down the way Narada does. I'm just saying. I'm not on TikTok, but Shelly V and Rosie Amelia being bullied and Narada addressing it. Gotcha. I don't know about that. I know that the only thing that I had heard about was the stuff with, like I said, that specific post, and then them all trying to dogpile on him about his, how he operates as a stylist. And I think a lot of people were just taking the opportunity to try to get jabs at him, because a lot of people still have a lot of resentment from a lot of those lives, but the other stuff I'm not really sure about. The people are mad at Narada. People stay mad at Narada because Narada tells the truth. He's just honest. He's not going to give you any frills. He's not trying to sell you $1 in a dream. And that kind of approach, unfortunately, does not get the kind of love and attention that it deserves out here. And there are a lot of people who really should be loved and regarded in this industry who aren't, because they're not out here trying to sell. They're not necessarily out here trying to make a buck. They're just trying to help people. And Narada is genuinely trying to help people. And at the end of the day, if Narada wasn't good at what he does, if he didn't know what he was talking about, he wouldn't have so many happy clients. You can go on his website and look at the material. You can go on the Green Thumb website and look at their material. You can go on their socials and look at the material. They know what they're doing. But I think also for Narada, he kind of has the same mindset that I do, that like, I would rather have people hating on me and have a smaller pool of individuals to deal with that I know are loyal, that they're not going to bring riffraff, that I know that when they pull up, like, it's all good vibes. Like, even if like we may have a little tussle here and there, like, we're all good at the end of the day. That I think is more what he cares about than anything else, So let's see. They did not like that haircut at all, as if it was their hair. Exactly. And it's like, that's what the client wanted. She said, do what needs to be done. And she was happy with her service. So why are you over here projecting? And that's what a lot of it is. And I hate that we're still doing this at this age. Like, at 2023, at our big ages, we are still projecting our own insecurities onto other individuals. Let people cut their hair. You don't have to take care of it. Like, there have been so many times where I've been berated for wanting to cut my hair or cutting my hair. And it's like, but you don't have to take care of it. Like, you feel like my life is just easy because I have a certain curl pattern. But baby, you got to take care of it. This stuff is not all fun and games all the time. I still have to get up and do my hair every day. And it needs to be cut now because the way that my hair is, let me see if I can find a piece that's not tangled up. But can we just, like, and that's just, what, like, to my belly button? That's not even the longest point of my hair. Having hair that long with a curl this tight, like, you do the math. Like, the longest point of my hair in the back literally comes down to my ass. It's not easy to take care of, especially not when it shrinks all the way up to my damn ears. So people tend to project a lot, and they just need to stop, because at the end of the day, like, people have to make decisions for themselves, you know? If you want long hair, work on getting long hair, but don't get mad at somebody else because they don't want it. That's not your business. Ooh, the hair is flourishing. Thank you. I'm trying, because she was dry today. So I took, like, a little bit of African Pride moisturizer and, like, added it throughout my hair, and then I just, like, put my hair in, like, 4 large chunky twists and let it set while I did my makeup, and it came out pretty cute. I have a video coming on how I do that, but I'm a little behind on filming, so the goal is to have that video up next week. Lots of women experiencing split ends in Asia, and Elise keep talking in circles and gaslighting. Yeah, that sounds like them. Yeah, it sounds like them. Listen, there is a reason why I am very particular about how I get my hair cut and who I let cut my hair. Because it's not even about length for me. It's that a lot of people don't necessarily address all the issues. And if I come into your salon and I ask for a trim and I tell you to take off what needs to be taken off, and I still have a bunch of messed up single strand knotted shit sitting at the end, you didn't take off what needed to be taken off. What was done isn't done, you know? Like, to me, I would rather sit and be overdue for a trim than go get a bad trim. I would rather sit and be overdue for a cut than get a bad cut, you know, because I'm going to wait and go to the person that I know is going to do exactly what needs to be done. And, like, a lot of people ask me how I do, like, get my hair trimmed and how I get my hair cut. And I'll be straight up with y'all. I let my stylist blow it out, because to me, I don't see how in the world, with my hair type, with the way that my hair curls in on itself, that my stylist can get every single thing, find every single thing, and make sure that it will look good in its shape, regardless of how I have my hair, with her cutting it like this, you know? So I blow it out. I prefer to have my hair blown out when I get it cut, because I know everything is going to come off, because my coils are so tight, y'all. Like, they are so tight. So that is how I prefer to get my hair cut. And some people don't like that. Everything doesn't work for everybody. Like, you have to do what you need. But at the end of the day, if you have clients coming in and saying, like, I'm coming in and I'm paying for this service, and trying to keep my hair healthy, and what I'm asking for is not what's happening, then you need to listen. That's your client. Exactly. Narada never forces things on his clients, so I'm confused. Exactly. He doesn't. Like, I feel like Narada is an example of, like, the decorum that all stylists should have with their hair, that what all stylists should have with their clients and their clients' hair. You know, he does a great job of really working with his clients and consulting his clients. And I'm happy that he allows us to see that, you know, because a lot of us don't have good experiences with stylists, and it's good to see what it should look like, you know? Okay, waist length. Yes, listen, it's been growing even though I've been beating it up. So the way I've been beating my hair up, I should be bald. So I'm thankful. Having coily curly hair is a lot when it gets longer. It's a bit easier with length, in my opinion, but when you neglect it, exactly, like, it can just be a lot. And I think now, like, because I was thinking back to, like, back when I was at school, and my hair was really, really long, but I didn't feel like I had so many other issues with tangling. And I get my frequent trims and everything, but I just had the realization that I think my hair, like, the ends of my hair were just so much straighter because at that time I was still heat styling and I hadn't had a trim. So I feel like my hair wasn't curling in on itself the way that it does now because my hair was just straighter at that time. So now it's like it is healthier, but it is a little bit more difficult to maintain because what it naturally wants to do, you know? So I genuinely think that that's just what it is. Like, I appreciate how beautifully that my hair curls, but it can get really, really frustrating, if that makes sense. My hair comes to the top of my boobs and I still be over it. Yeah, like, it's a lot. I really need to go ahead and do another cut, honestly. Because I've just been doing trims. I haven't been doing, like, a serious, like, cut. Like, I haven't cut my layers back in. I've just been getting trims. And I think that's why it's hanging down so long, but I'm kind of getting over it. I'm actually doing my hair right now using Your Fave. She sent it. I love that stuff. I was thinking about using that this week because I love it. Topping it off with Jello shot. Ooh, I know that. I might have to try that. I probably can't do that with the custard, but the serum, that would probably do really, really well for me. I might try that. I was on Arada's watch party last night. He also thinks women following Black Girl Curls are experiencing extremely dry hair to the point it's not holding up anymore. Well, one, that doesn't surprise me because of the types of products that they push. With all the gels. Yeah, like, because, like, for me, this wash and go right now is... So I was lazy the other night and I just used the Goddess Curls from Curls because I've had this for a minute and hadn't opened it. I just used this and, like, the definition, the hold was beautiful, but, like, 3 days in I felt like my hair was just really dry. So I moisturized it today. But people who follow that Black Girl Curls method are not going to do that. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, like, just a gel on its own, it has to be specific products, and I don't feel like a lot of the products that they suggest hold up for me for just using a gel or, like, using multiple gels. I'm very specific. If I only have, like, gel type products in my hair, they're very specific products. The comment section on that video is wild. A lot of women having dry hair. But, you know, this is the thing. I'm not surprised. And I feel like stuff like this always comes to pass because when you have people who are trying to build up this, like, testimonial type situation and they speak in absolutes and they act as if their practice is the only practice that works and the only practice that matters, well, this always comes to pass because at some point people are going to start experiencing the issues. And like I always say, it only takes about a year or two for you to start seeing what's really going on. That's all it takes. And it always comes to light, usually in the form of somebody getting on the internet doing a big job. But that's all it takes. It always comes into fruition. Them no butters and creams catching up to them. Yeah, like, you know, if I'm trying to have an easy hair day and my hair is detangled enough and I feel like I can get by with the slip of just using a gel, then I will do that. But I also know that I'm not going to get the same supple, super moisturized feel that I'll get from using a leave-in underneath. Does having a leave-in underneath sometimes sacrifice a couple of the days? Sure. But I would rather my hair be moisturized. I would rather it not be brittle. Like, I shall take that. Elasticity don't be coming into play with coily hair. Yes, like I'm so happy that my elasticity is on point, but at the same time, girl, The coils be coiling. They were seeing a stylist every 3 months. One girl said she was there every 10 days and is cutting it all. Ooh, every 3 months. Listen, I'm just going to be real with you, and I get that I am not a stylist, but I think there are a lot of stylists that agree with me that if you have a healthy hair routine and your hair is doing well, and you and your stylist have you on track, you shouldn't have to go see your stylist more than twice a year. Just saying. I see my stylist twice a year for my cuts, trims, whatever. If I have certain things that I want done, like I don't have any color or, any types of treatments that I'm trying to keep up. So I don't have to see her like that. I see her twice a year to get my hair fully cut, trimmed, whatever it needs, get whatever shape I want put into it, and then I go about my business. If you're seeing your stylist every 3 months, getting trims and cuts every 3 months, there's something there that's not working. Yeah, it's not working. I'm going to check my battery. Okay. We'll have to hook up soon. Which is fine because I should probably get Hank soon so you guys can meet Hank. But yeah, something there is not working. And I know too that I have heard Narada say that his clients that are, good don't really have to come in more than twice a year unless they have like certain styles, consistent styles they want to get. But if you're just coming in, constantly getting your hair cut every 3 months, that's a problem. The Argan and Honey Milk, that is really good. I honestly, y'all, I have so many products that I need to use up, get rid of. And then I honestly feel like I'm due for some natural hair shopping. Y'all will have to tell me what like newer things you're loving because I'm due for spending some money on natural hair products. I think I've earned it. I just want to tell them, please go back to the creams and butters. Yes, like the thing is, I don't know. I understand not wanting to have to touch your hair all the time. But I mean, I use creams, I use butters, I use leave-ins, I use oils, and I still only manipulate my hair twice a week outside of like taking it out and like shaking it and fluffing it or whatever. And if it weren't for the fact that I do like to go out, I like to work out, I get sweaty, I probably would only style my hair once a week. My hair holds up pretty well. I think if you know what you're doing and you know the products that work for you in the environment that you live in, I don't think you need to be drying your hair out that hard, I don't know. I think sometimes people make things so overly difficult and overly complicated. And I have the feeling that a lot of people are going to be going back to what they were doing prior to finding Black Girl Curls and moving on from that, honestly. Aisha admitted she's having issues retaining length. I think she took the video. Oh. Well, girl. Again, I'm not a stylist, but if the method weren't doing it for me, I wouldn't be doing it to anybody else. That's all I'm saying. And I'm pretty sure that she was probably told to take it down because that is definitely damning for her brand. Because at the end of the day, like what they have now is a brand. Black Girl Curls is a brand. It is something that has become a natural hair household name. Even if you don't follow their method, you know who they are. Yeah, that says a lot. And I'm not surprised because I'll be honest, watching them and following them and looking at their hair, and I understand that. So both of them are color treated, right? But their hair has never looked particularly moisturized to me or particularly healthy to me. And I mean, I have, family who has very blonde, very platinum color treated hair and it don't look dry. So whatever they're doing, if it's not working for them, why are you doing it to other people? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Y'all get where I'm going with that. I just don't follow people who push their methods as law. Exactly. That is my thing. I do not trust anybody who speaks in absolutes. I don't trust it. That's completely absurd. Someone like me who has extremely tight 4B, 4C coils and high density, baby, I need all the moisture I can get. Exactly. And like, I think for a lot of us, like for me, I need the emollients, right? Because I know what my hair is going to do. I know that my hair is going to coil up. I know that my hair is prone to matting. And so I like having that extra emollients in my hair. I may not put like a ton of oil or like butter all over my head, but I will put it at the ends to help with lubrication and stuff like that. It does help. So I don't know. I don't trust anybody that speaks in absolutes, because again, it speaks to trying to line your pockets as opposed to trying to actually help people. And that's not to take away from people who have been using the method and who truly love it, and who have found ways to implement it into their routine and are seeing results. I'm not taking anything away from anybody who does the method and loves it and their hair is thriving and flourishing. But to speak in absolutes the way that they and so many other stylists do, especially like these new TikTok stylists, a lot of times I don't interact with the natural hair community on TikTok because I'm not doing all this shit again. We already did all this stuff over here. I'm not listening to you and your funky behind only washing your hair with water. I'm not going to sit here and look at all these trends. I'm not going to sit here and listen to these curly stylists tell Black people what to do when they have never touched a Black person's hair in their life. I'm not listening to any of that. We have over here, us OG YouTube girlies, we have paid our dues. We have been there. We have seen all the bullshit. I am not doing that with these TikTok folks because they don't want to listen anyway. Like, I remember months back when all that stuff with Mael happened, when that rosemary oil blew up because that little white girl was using it. And people were like, we just can't have anything. We don't have any Black-owned brands in the store. None of them are owned by us anymore. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, you don't have any? You don't have nobody. All them brands that be sitting on the shelf, all them brands you see online, all them brands you scroll past, you don't have any options. None. Make it make sense, Jody. Please. Like, it grinds my gears because it almost feels like we have taken so many steps back when we have had people who have worked so hard to be in this industry. And on top of that, we already know that a lot of people just don't understand business and all of that. And a lot of people just don't understand that oftentimes when these brands get really, really big, it's bigger than what they can take on by themselves. And in order for them to be able to maintain it and not crash and burn, they have to bring somebody else in. That alone, you know. But I mean, the way like these girls, these TikTok girls will be like, we don't have anything for natural hair. And I'm just like, nothing? Nobody. And I'm just sitting here in my room with all these brands. I'm just looking at my shelf with all these brands. And you said nobody? Girl, you just lazy. You have plenty of things to use. You're just lazy. It's just ridiculous. So I don't interact with the natural hair TikTok girlies because I'm not doing that again. We did it once. Please deep condition. Yes, like having a routine is so important. And I feel like so many people neglect the wash process and only focus on the style process. And I feel like a big part of the reason why I don't struggle with maintaining my styles is because I take care of my hair at the most critical point. And so the rest is it's just finisher. It's topper offer. There are a lot of styling products that I don't like, that don't give me a certain finish or a certain look. But overall, like, I'm not hanging my entire natural hair hat on a gel and a leave-in, you know? Because I know that my hair is being held down from the time I start my wash day. I just stocked up on my She Scented faves. I wanted to try some new things, but I couldn't go over budget. I just had bought some new goodies from Bread and Curlsmith. Ooh, I love Bread and I love me some Curlsmith. I know a lot of people side-eye Curlsmith, but their stuff is good. Like, it is. It's just good. And I really enjoy Bread too. I just have like their core products, like the hair wash, the deep conditioner. I have the leave-in, which I have not cracked open yet. It's just sitting there sealed, which I need to use. So I have like their core products, but I want to try like the other things that they've come out over the last like year or so. Y'all know I ain't been buying hair products. I haven't been spending money in general. If it's not groceries or my mom or a book, I will buy books. But if it's not that, I'm just not spending money. But it's okay because I needed to use up my shit, if I'm being honest. Xavier said, I've been using She Scented Curl Origin Sultanicals and Miche. I did see that She Scented expanded the Tropical Sangria line. It has a leave-in milk and shampoo now. Ooh, I wanted to get that line, but I ended up skipping out on Black Friday this past year. I just didn't see anything that I needed or really, really wanted. And then, like, Mom had her surgery, like, right there around, like, Thanksgiving. I'm going to start moving over so I can, hook up to charge. But, yeah, I ended up skipping, like, all the Black Friday stuff. But I do need to try, like, their new stuff. I haven't given y'all, like, a good, like, new She Scented video in a while. And I need to do that. Because She Scented, Curl Origin, Miche, you know, those brands, like those core brands that I always talk about, those are the brands that have really like rocked with me and the ones that I continue to work with and enjoy. But I'm also like kind of at a point in my journey where I'm kind of tired of making a lot of money for other people, but they don't want to pay me for my work. I know a lot of people feel a way about sponsored content, but this is a lot. And you get kind of tired of putting your hair on the line and people thinking that it's okay to hit you up and like be disrespectful and only offer you product. Product is not payment. Product is not going to pay a single one of my bills. So outside of like the core brands that you guys see me like talking about all the time and working with all the time, I kind of just side-eye people a little bit, I'm being honest. That doesn't mean I won't try new things, but I just have to be more mindful because a lot of people feel really entitled to our time and our work, and I'm just a little bit over it. Especially with the way that a lot of these folks will talk to you. And a lot of this has kind of happened, like, I think because of the pandemic. But the thing that has been killing me is, like, I'll get emails that are like, we want to do some work with you for, like, such and such line or whatever. And they'll ask for my rates and everything. But then come back and be like, so we can't afford your rate at this time, but like we can give you commission. And like a lot of times the commission ends up being more than what the rate is. And I'm like, so if the commission ends up being more than what the rate is, then why can't you pay me my rate? No, just give me my money. And if you can't afford me, then come back when you can. And I usually don't charge people that much money. I grossly undercharge. And I have had companies tell me that I grossly undercharge. So it's not even me being out here being greedy. Like, I know the money that I could be making, and I don't ask for as much as I could be. So I feel like I've just reached that age of like just trying not to be used on social media. And it's gotten really easy because the way that these people will pull up and your email and talk to you. But I definitely want to pull up with some new She Scented. I don't think Curl Origin has come out with anything recently. There's some stuff from Pattern that I want to try. Pattern always shows me love. They're really sweet too. But we shall see. The Bread Clay Mask and Curlsmith 4-in-1 cream thing. Still waiting on it from Sephora. Yeah, the 4-in-1 I really, really like. I've heard good things about that clay mask. I'll have to check it out. It always looks dry. No shit. Their hair does always look dry. They speak with so much jargon, I can't keep up. Yes. And this is something that I think a lot of us, because we are highly educated, we get when people are trying to kind of pull the wool over our eyes with big talk. There are a lot of people who are egregiously stupid, but they're really good talkers. And so people who don't have the knowledge think that these people are just so smart and so well versed, when in actuality, they're dumber than doorknobs. But they're just really good at talking at you. And that's how a lot of people get by out here. They don't have any true knowledge. They know how to talk to people, they know how to talk at people, and they know how to make you believe what they're saying. So between the baby crowns and the critical mass, I can't keep up. Listen, the critical mass thing took me out. I was like, what? I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we talked about that in chemistry. Organic chemistry. Why is this a discussion on a blog? Y'all, I can't. I can't. So I want to give the gel another try. It's okay so far. The packaging is really cute though. The gel from Curlsmith, is that the one that you're talking about? I've been loving the passion fruit and charcoal detox. Listen, Xavier, I used up my last jar of the charcoal detox and I was like, I need to get it together. I need to pick that back up. Oh, I'm running out of a lot of my She Sent It. Y'all will be proud of me. Let's see, the Tahiti cocktail leave-in and custard, and the new fave is a banana brulee DC. Okay, I'll have to try that because I didn't get it when they relaunched it for Black Friday, but I've heard a lot of great things about it because I think it was like a limited edition thing that they had gotten rid of before. I want them to bring back that honey conditioner because that conditioner was amazing, and I'm still mad to this day that they took it away. Oh, you got the banana curl cream in DC? Ooh, you'll have to let me know how you like it. I feel like they just use random terms to come across as more intelligent. They do. They absolutely do. And see, I catch on to a lot of that because of my background and my schooling. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, there is no reason why this should be a discussion for hair. Like, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about evolution right now? Make that make sense. Like, why are we talking about Charles Darwin? So a lot of things I catch because I'm like, we shouldn't be talking about this right now. It has nothing to do with hair. You're just trying to make people listen to you with big words. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretentious and it's tiring. And honestly, like, hair care should not be that difficult. And it isn't that difficult, but people will make you feel like it's that difficult because they want you to be beholden to the way that they do things. They cannot make money off of you if you are not beholden to the things that they do and the things that they teach. And so if they teach you the simplicities of taking care of your hair, you ain't gonna need them, you know? And they don't want that to happen. It's giving money grab. I can't imagine how much they'd charge if they blow dried hair to trim before curl styling. Exactly. And I can only imagine the amount of money that they're charging now. But I know, like me, when I go get my hair done, I've never paid over $60 to get my natural hair done, ever. And that's full wash, deep conditioning treatment, blow dry, trim or cut. And then usually what I'll do is I like styling my hair blow dried, so I'll just usually have her put it in like a braided crown when I leave. And then like for the next 2 weeks, I will just like put my hair in braids and wear my hair like wavy blown out. So simple. Don't spend a lot of money at all. And I go about my life. But yeah, Xavier, like I have never, the amount of money that people are spending on things that one, they don't need, you know? But yeah, she doesn't charge out the ass at all. And I have a lot of hair. So like, I know a lot of people charge like extra money for length and density and all that stuff. But I mean, my services are really simple and she doesn't overcharge me for anything. So I love that. And then of course, my aunt does my hair too sometimes, and she rarely charges me because she loves me because she's amazing. um, let's see. It gave a bit of physics too, but I'm still mad confused. Struggled in both. Out waiting to respond. Exactly. They have a very much like attack, attack, attack attitude. And people who are genuinely the best in what they do, the best in their field, regardless of what it is, um, those people listen to the people in their field. Those people listen to the people that they service. Um, and those are the ones that are truly the best. Those are the ones that are truly excelling within their careers and in their field. And those are the ones who are putting out the best work. Because this is the thing, like, there is no one method that is the only way. Like, I feel like there are core, like, things that we should be doing when it comes to, like, hair maintenance. And a lot of that is simply because, like, we live on a dirty planet. Like, I hate how people bring up our ancestors, and I'm like, they didn't have holes in the ozone. Their shit was not dirty like this. They didn't have industry the way that we have industry. Like the planet that they lived on and the planet we live on are not the same anymore. So I think there are like definitely certain steps that you should be taking to make sure that your hair is clean, especially if you have allergies. Because your hair can hold on to a lot of pollutants and allergens as well. And I think those are some things that should be like minded and like considered. But outside of that, there isn't just a one thing. But I think people need to be able to say, I was trying to sell you $1 in a dream and it didn't work. Because there are so many people on YouTube right now who have literally started damn near wars because of how they wanted to do their hair. You know, have tried to discredit other content creators, have tried to discredit other stylists, have tried to discredit other brands for the ways that they wanted to do their hair. And now this year it's all coming out. Oh, well, my shit ain't growing. My shit is falling out. I have to get another big chop, you know. I'm on big chop 15 because I refuse to just listen to other people's advice and choose common sense practices when it comes to my hair. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to trust your opinion on a method, a product, whatever else. If you have to get a big chop every other year because you continue to use these methods and your shit is not retaining length. Like, I have achieved the waist length. I have achieved the ass length. And there has never been a single time where I have gotten on Blue Ivy Carter's internet and told y'all to do some dumb shit to your hair. Because I don't. Why would I do that? Could it make me more money in AdSense? Absolutely. But to me, it's not worth it. It's just not. If it comes between views and making sure that the people who watch me can trust me and the things that I say, and that you guys who trust my opinions can go out and just live healthy lifestyles and have healthy hair, I will take you guys having healthy lifestyles and healthy hair for $200. The money don't mean shit. It really don't mean shit. Especially not when you're out here embarrassing yourself for a check. Couldn't be me. Let's see. Oh, the new bread gel. I forgot they came out with that because I remember back when they were teasing it, but I haven't seen it yet. And I haven't looked at any reviews. I need to get back on YouTube and watch some reviews and see like what products I want to try, what sounds interesting, because I just don't be out here in them streets like that anymore. They just had a sale. This is what I get for not being on IG. This is what I get for abandoning IG. Tiana, what books are you planning to read this month? So Book and Breakfast is going to be up sometime tomorrow, and it's going to have my TBR on there. It is going to be the Kennedy Ryan Author Spotlight. The recipe is going to be based on one of the recipes from Before I Let Go. And then we're just going to talk about like her books, her existing titles that are being traditionally published. And then she's had a couple different titles that have been greenlit for TV and film. So all that's going to be about her, but the end of it is going to be my monthly TBR. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to actually finish everything in my TBR because I didn't finish everything from June's TBR. And then on top of that, I just got a couple of different arcs that came in. The book 2 in the Underworld University series by Bex DeVoe. I just got the arc for that, and I'm really excited. So I'm going to start that tonight. And I'm probably going to be working on like promotional materials for Bex for a little while. So it's probably going to interfere with my reading a little bit. But all that's going to be on the video tomorrow. I'm probably not going to have it up in the morning just because I know once I get off of this live, I'm going to have to take more medicine and it's going to knock me out. So I'll probably like edit half of it tonight and then edit the other half in the morning, but it will be up tomorrow. People try to sound like they're Neil deGrasse Tyson when they really sound like Mermaid Man from SpongeBob explaining Wumbo. That is so overly specific and incredibly accurate. And that is why we love Xavier. 60, that's a steal. Yeah, like she doesn't overcharge me for anything. Like she keeps it really simple. She's probably had to raise her prices a little bit just because of like the way things, you know, are going economy wise, but she has never gone out of her way to charge me like exorbitant amounts for getting my hair done. I get really simple services and she charges me very simple prices, and I appreciate that. So, and she does a good job. She takes very good care of my hair. And I always feel confident that my hair is on the right track whenever I see her. I get my hair cut straight or just blown out. Yeah, that's what I prefer. I prefer it to be blown out. Because I just, even like if my hair is not blown out hard enough, you can still see like the little coils like trying to act up. So I just prefer that. I paid $65 when I was relaxed decades ago. Wow. Yeah. Like, and this isn't me knocking anybody. Like, I feel like as a professional, you should be charging what you feel is fair. But at the same time, if I'm coming in for real basic shit, I shouldn't be out like $300 to $400. Like, and usually I end up paying over $100 because I give her a very good tip because I love her. But yeah, that's just me. That's it. I'm flying for my next hair appointment. Green thumb, here I come. Listen, I would totally go hit up Narada for an appointment. If I can ever like get over my thing about traveling. I still have really bad flare-ups when I travel. I went to a cookout with my family, well, a family reunion, a couple of weeks ago. It had me laid out for a couple of days. So I just have to be good at planning when it comes to travel, because if I travel, I need like at least a day or two to like get over the flare, and then we can go have fun. Yes, I cannot with their tone. Yeah, I hate their tone. And and I'm the type of person, I don't like to tone police people, but I do think we know when people are being aggressive. And sometimes it is just overtly aggressive, and it's just not a good look. Your book and breakfast videos are really good. Could you do a video of your favorite found family recs? Yes, I definitely can. I am going to try to do a favorites of 2023 so far, but YA edition, because to me it just felt weird to put all those YA books in there with all them smutty, you know, Daddy Dom stuff. And I was like, I feel like the YA needs its own video, so I'm going to do that. I can definitely give you guys a video for found family as well, because that's my favorite trope. It really is. I love found family. So we can definitely do that. There's a lot more bookish things that I want to do. I just don't want to overwhelm people who are only here for hair with too much book stuff. So I try to be cognizant of how much book stuff I post, because I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to pivot because it's not what I'm trying to do. I want to post other stuff that I love on top of the things that I already post that I love. I wumbo, she wumbo. Exactly. I do like a blown out cut too, but I'm just too scared to blow out my hair sometimes. So I just weigh my hair down and come out with the curls brushed. Gotcha. Yeah, it took a minute for me to get over blow drying my hair, and once I did, I never looked back. And honestly, sometimes like when I'm feeling really lazy, like when I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm going to neglect my hair, I'll just blow it out and I'll put it in like a simple style. And that helps so much because it keeps my hair from matting. It keeps it from getting super tangled. I can dress it up or I can dress it down, and it just makes life so much more simpler. I know I've asked twice, but I'm curious what's on your TBR this month. No, girl, I got you. You may have missed when I said that my TBR is going to be up tomorrow. But if you guys want to know what I'm currently reading, because it is on my TBR, let me get it. Ooh. I still haven't gone to get the dog. Y'all are going to fight me. I promise I will bring Hank up here for you guys to see. But I do need to work on Revive Me by J.L. Seegers. Those of you who have been reading my Romance Rex may have gotten into the New Haven series by J.L. Seegers. So good. And this is book 2 in the New Haven series. But book 2... No, girl, you're okay. You're good. That video is going to be up sometime tomorrow. I can't give you a specific time because I know when I take my sinus medication, I know I'm going to conk out tonight. So I'll probably like edit half of it tonight and then edit the last half tomorrow. Because when all that stuff happened with my mom, when she had her memory lapse thing last week, I was in the middle of filming Book and Breakfast, like at that time. So I had put it down, and that's why it didn't go up. So that'll be up tomorrow. And there's actually going to be like more like fantasy YA stuff in there too. But I was supposed to read this last month and I didn't get to it. But honestly, I think part of the reason I didn't work on it was because I just wanted to have part 3 in my hands, because I know that J.L. Seegers is going to break my heart. This is Mal and Chris's story. So if you've read book 1 of the New Haven series, Mallory is the sister-in-law to Sloane from book 1. So she is the twin sister of Sloane's deceased husband. And we meet Mal and Chris a little bit in the first book of the New Haven series. So I'm excited to get into this, but it is 3 parts. And part 3 is going to be here on Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and actually start reading this tonight before I go to bed. And then I'm also working on A Caribbean Heiress in Paris by Adriana Herrera. This is a historical romance about a young woman who is taking over her father's distillery, and she is currently in Paris trying to promote their rum and whiskey. And she comes across a very fine Scottish man who also needs to find a wife so he can get his dad's estate. So really good, Marriage of Convenience. I'm enjoying it. I had started reading it on Libby, and I was just really annoyed with audiobooks at the time. So I picked it up in hard copy. And then I'm also working on The Blood Gift by Annie Davenport. Y'all, I read like 5 or 6 books at a time. Don't judge me. Got this off hold at the library. It finally came in. This is part 2 of the Blood Gift duology. And I'm really liking it so far. It's really fast-paced. Like, I thought book 1 was really fast-paced. But book 2 is like super duper fast paced. If you haven't read any of the blood trials, our main character, Akenna, is trying to avenge the death of her grandfather by submitting herself within the blood trials. And basically it's like this set of tasks and trials that picks them out to be like a part of their own like country's secret service, essentially. It's incredibly bloody. It's very gory. There's a lot going on in this book. But basically, she's really only there to figure out who killed her grandfather. And there's a whole conspiracy. I can't tell you what happens in this book yet because it would give away everything from book 1. but it's good. And already, I will just say this, they fucking already. So, you know I'm enjoying myself. And then I'm also taking my time working on the adventures of Amina al-Sarafi. This is a fantasy, Arab Muslim fantasy about a female pirate who is currently retired, but she is roped back into trying to find the daughter of one of her former shipmates. And there's a lot going on here, but I will tell y'all this. Shannon's writing is beautiful. This is written from the point of view in which the main character, Amina, is actually orating her story to a scribe. So it is interesting. It's really hilarious. Definitely whimsical. And Amina is like probably one of my favorite female characters of all time. So that's what I'm currently reading, and those are like 4 that are on my TBR, but y'all know I never stick to a TBR because I will see something that one of my friends is reading, and then I have to read it too. All it takes is one of them little blurbs on TikTok and a sound of a man with a deep voice saying nasty things, and I just have to read the book. Chrissy said, blowing out my hair got easier when I started using the Kenra blow dry spray. Yeah, that one is really good. And the Comet Biologics Cocoa Treated Tangling Ghee. I haven't used that. I love the burdock root buttercream from Comet. I really love that one. It's on point. I think the other product I've used for them it's the moringa tree something. They sent it to me a while ago. And I used it and I really liked it, but I think I gave it to a friend because like her hair just like really took to it. So I let her have it. I've been playing, you know, I'm focused. I thought I could hear your live, but apparently not. I gotcha. Historical romance. Yeah, I've really been into historical romances. I just finished one by Alyssa Cole. It's called A Hope Divided. And it's set within the Civil War era, right after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. It was so good. A Black mixed-race abolitionist with a white Union soldier on the run. Really good. And I love Alyssa Cole's writing. So it was fun. And the spice got me. There's something about like historical romance spice. I think because like it's really forbidden. Like they can't even show ankle. So like if y'all getting spicy up in there, like it feels extra spicy. Like it feels extra forbidden, you know. We'll check out the Davenports as well, yeah. Any Davenport series, yeah, it's really, really good. Heavy trigger warnings though, because there is a lot of blood, death, killing, and there is some cannibalism in there. Just so you know. Those trials get wild, okay? So just a heads up, like it is technically a YA book, but there's a lot of heavy stuff, you know, so just a heads up. I feel like we don't put enough content warnings in YA books because a lot of them YA books be heavy. Let's see. Starting Debt tonight. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so excited for you. I love that book. I live and breathe for Tax and Mia, okay? Like me and my friend Michaela and Sarai from TikTok, Bookish Delight over on TikTok, and Sarai Reads, Sarie Reads on TikTok. I do buddy reads with them often. And our first buddy read together was Debt by Nina G. Jones. Y'all, we were in the voice notes just like cutting up. It is so good. A lot of people hear the premise of it and they're like, it's so unhinged that they just judge it. But it's such a good book. If you haven't seen my video about like my favorite 5-star reads like so far, Debt is an erotic romance situation. Dark erotica. And our main character, she's real like goody two-shoes, like real cute, kind of meek. She actually works at a sex toy shop. So, she's like bossing it up out here in the sex toy industry, but she's like really vanilla. But she doesn't just have vanilla taste. And her best friend introduces her to a website where you can sign up to have someone come and act out a consensual non-consent fantasy. So basically they show up to your house and pretend to attack you, and y'all get it on, and they go and act like it never happened, basically. So she signs up for it. Guy shows up, blows the kitty out. Best sex of her life. And she's like conflicted, but she's also like, but I loved it though. Until she shows up to her house the next night and there's another man there to do the job. And she realizes that the guy that came and blew her kitty out the night before was not the guy that was paid to blow her kitty out. That guy is actually a man from her past who has shown up to ruin her life because he thinks that she ruined his life. Y'all, the plot was plotting. The smut was smutting. Like, it was like every 10 pages they were just doing like freaky shit. It was really good. It was so good. Like, probably one of the best books that I have read just in general. Because you think that it's just going to be like regular, like smutty erotica, but the plot, the way that we were going between like the back and forth of like what happened to them as children and how they were faring as adults and putting all of this together and trying to understand what was going on. Y'all, I live for that book. I want to reread it. I've been trying not to reread it because as unhinged as it is, it kind of feels like a comfort read because I love Tax and Mia. Sorry, I just went on a whole tangent, but y'all, like that book, I love it. I'm going to rotate between Debt and Yellowface. I gotta get into Yellowface. So many of my friends have been telling me that Yellowface is like giving them life, but I have this thing because like, okay, so I got Babbel like several months ago and I still haven't opened the book yet. So I feel like I need to read that before I continue on with my R.F. Kuang era, you know, because I still haven't read The Poppy War and I really want to read The Poppy War, but I'm not going to buy that until I finally make myself open up Babbel and read it. Me and dark academia have a thing because sometimes I just don't get along with dark academia. Sometimes it just feels a little bit too pretentious to me, you know? So yeah, I haven't opened it yet, but I need to because I know that R.F. Kuang be making points. Lots of points. So you're going to have a good time, Andrea. You are going to love Debt. If you love Losers, you're going to love Debt. Even though they're like very different stories. And the book does end more so like on an open-ended situation, but I still consider it to be an HEA. So, you know, you'll get into it and you might feel like, oh shit, like this is kind of dark. It does have an HEA. So there is that. So do y'all want to see the puppy? Because I can go get Hank and bring him up here. Because I did say I was going to let y'all see the puppy. But I need to know if y'all want to see him. Because I'm not going to bother him if y'all don't care. You got to let me know. But that's what I've been doing, like, book-wise. Yeah, I have that arc for the Bex DeVoe book. Book 2 in the Underworld University series. So I'm excited to start that. I need to start Revive Me, but I also want to start The Devil I Know. I don't know. I'm a mushy romance girly. That's all I read when I was super into books. I fell off though. I get you. I love me some mushy romance as well. If you haven't, get into A.E. Valdez, Christina C. Jones, and Alexandria House. I have just gone through all of like Alexandria House's backlist. Alexandria House, I feel like needs to get to like doing some screenwriting because her books are very much BET the way BET should be. They're so good. Like the characters are hilarious and all the tropes in her books, like a lot of her books are like age gaps. They're like hockey romances, baller romances, rapper romances, but they don't feel tropey. Like her books feel like coming home and they're just like legit, just so hilarious. The relationships between the characters are on point. A lot of her books are on Libby. So Alexandria House, the McLean Brothers series, halfway through that series and it's amazing. If you want to start off just simpler, not having to read too much, she has a series of novellas called the Them Boys series. It's about 3 different brothers and their love stories, and they're really short novellas, and they're super duper spicy, but still very fluffy, and they're really, really good. All right, let me go get Hank so you guys can see the puppy. He's also been like salivating, wanting to come up here, so just give me 1 second. Y'all don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go get the puppy. I know you haven't been in here before. Okay. So this is our baby Hank. And he is our sweet little golden doodle. Yeah. You see, hi. My chair's a little low. But you see, hi. He was sleeping and now he's like, where am I? This is his first time being in my room, so he's like, where is this? Hi, my love. He is the sweetest little goober. I love him so much. He's only 3 months old. Yeah, like he's like baby. But he's big though. Like, look at his paws. He's a big baby. So my dad was like, he's only going to get like 20 pounds. There's no way. Absolutely no way. And he just has the cutest like round puppy belly. Yeah. I love you too. Yes, he's so pretty. So, our neighbor next door, their oldest dog recently passed away too, and they had gotten a new puppy. My dad saw him, and my dad was like, do they have any more? And so he went and found Hank. So our next door neighbor actually has Hank's little brother. Yeah, he's sleepy. He's sleepy. He is so sweet and so precious, and he just meshed into our house like he's always been here. And I forgot how quirky puppies are. Like, they are super quirky and funny and silly, and he is just all of that. He's so precious. He's tired. He's been zooming around the house all day. But yeah, that's our baby. So if you hear more yapping and all of that, it's him. Because he has finally found his voice. At first, when he got here, he wouldn't bark or anything. He would just kind of go like, but now he's figured out how to use his voice, and he is on it. I know you want to explore, don't you? I have a lot of shit in this room. I know. So he's so precious, y'all. Like, honestly, like, he has made our little hearts glow, because we have had so much sadness and unfun things, and he is just so precious. So this is our baby Hank, and we love him, and you'll see more of me, right? Yeah. You want to go back and lay with mom? He's so tired. Okay, I'm gonna go give him back to mom, and I'll come back and we can kind of wrap up the live. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Come on, baby. I got you. Oops, let's not fall. Okay, I'm back. I almost tripped and died. I'm so clumsy. But yeah, that's our baby. Isn't he the cutest? Like, he's so fluffy and cute. He's unreal. Let's see. He's big as hell. Yes, he is. And apparently, he was the biggest one of the litter, which means he ate the most. And I can tell because that dog wants to eat all day. Like, the whole day, he just wants us to feed him. And I'm like, Mom, this dog is going to be huge. Because he's already huge. And he has the cutest little puppy tummy. He's just round. So yeah, I'm running up and down and I'm like out of breath. I need to work out, y'all. He has a little yawn. Y'all, he is tired because he has been running around the house all day. Because he's been really good, like, with going to the bathroom. When we got him, like, we thought we were going to have to do a lot of training. We have no bathroom problems with him, knock on wood. But we haven't had any bathroom issues with him, so he's really good about telling us if he needs to go out. And then, of course, like, if it's really late at night, we put pads down for him. He has no issues using them. But he wanted to go outside and play today, and we were like, baby, it's hot. It's too hot for that. So, and I mean, even just him being in here with my studio light set up, he got really hot. So, so he's just perfect. Yeah, like, you know, the usual puppy, like, funny things that he does and stuff. And he gets into stuff. He tries to chew things, but he's a good listener, surprisingly so. Hopefully it'll stay that way. He's been very trainable so far. So I feel like we'll be good with him. And I think we'll definitely need that because I think he's going to be a lot bigger than they said he would be. Where's Ellie? She's so quiet. She's probably not feeling the puppy. Yes, she doesn't stay up here like that anymore. She has her own little space downstairs. So the dining room that I film in for book and breakfast, she usually stays in the room across from there. So she has like her cat tree and everything set up right there. And then my dad got some bird feeders to put out front. So she likes to sit in her little cat tree and watch the birds eat during the day. So that's where she stays. And she'll come upstairs with me at night and kind of mingle a little bit. She'll want to cuddle. And then once she gets her cuddles and everything, she just wants to go back to where she was. But she's a lot more comfortable. She has gotten over time a lot more comfortable with mingling around the house. Because there was a time where she didn't want to leave my room. Like, she didn't even want me to leave the door open to my room. But now she's really, like, comfortable in the house. She's not happy about the puppy. I don't think she really understands what Hank is and why he's here. Which I get because I'm sure to her, like, he's bigger than her. Like, y'all know Ellie, like, she's chunky. He's bigger than her. So she's just kind of like, what is this funky thing with all that hair? And why can't I see his eyes? Like, she just doesn't get it. And then, of course, like, he's a puppy. He doesn't understand that Ellie doesn't play the way that he plays. So he wants to run and chase and yip. And Ellie's like, nah, get somebody else to do it. She's not with it at all, so. But she'll be fine. It took her a minute to get used to Copper. Took her a minute to get used to our other girls. So it just will take some time. But the good thing is that with him being a puppy, she can easily establish her boundaries with him now. You know, so they'll be okay. But he is so sweet. Ellie is so sweet and so precious, but she is judgmental as fuck. Like, she is such a judgy cat. Like, these last few days, she's just been sitting around looking at us like, you really brought that thing in my house. How dare you? Like, she's so judgmental. But she is the sweetest. Let's see. Not me being late for the live. It's okay. It's all right. We've just been talking about life. We've been talking about Keke Palmer drama and dating drama. We brought Hank up here, my new little puppy. We've just been catching up because I feel like I don't get to catch up with you guys as much anymore, especially now that I don't have the time to do like more so like self-care Sunday type content like I used to. It was like every day y'all would get an update on how my life was going, and now you're lucky if you get an update on how my life is going like once a month. But you know, it just is what it is, right? Yeah, Copper looks at Hank like, is this what we're really doing? And so does Ellie. But the thing with Copper, I don't think it's necessarily that he's not interested in playing. It's just that Hank is bigger than him. And he doesn't like that. He's used to the other dog in the house being much smaller than him. Because Bella was a Yorkie. And he's a dachshund, but he was still a lot bigger than her. And Hank is already bigger than Copper. And Hank is only 3 months old. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, my dad would bring home the biggest dog out of all of them. Because even his sibling, his brother that lives next door, he's half the size of Hank right now. They're the same age. So Hank is huge compared to the other puppies in that litter. So I don't know. We'll see. But at least he's sweet and he's good. I love him. He's my baby already. So but yeah, was there anything else that I have some questions about like endo and PCOS, but I don't know if the person that asked that is in the live anymore. If you are, because I had questions about pain management and like who were like my go-to people like community wise while I was dealing. But I don't know if that person's still in the live now. That's why when he brought him in, I'm like, he's like he's big for 3 months. But I can already tell you, he was knocking all of his siblings out of the way to get that titty. I already know, because he eats like, he just eats all the time. And if we let him eat all day, he would eat all day. That dog is hungry all the time. So I'm pretty sure that he was booting his brothers and sisters out of the way so he could get that titty milk. Not surprised at all. But I'm so curious to see how big he's going to end up being once he's like out of the puppy stage. Because at least right now, like he has a lot of hair, but he also was just like, he's a little tubby in the gut. Like he has a cute little like paunchy puppy belly. So it'll be interesting to see what he looks like when he's like an adult and not a baby. I already know Copper gonna be tired because he already doesn't like the fact that that little baby is bigger than him. But hopefully he'll give Hank a chance. But yeah, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Because we've really gone through all the topics, and like I was saying, I feel like the person that asked this question, like if they're not in the live right now, then it would probably make more sense for me to like DM them. You know what I'm saying? So that they can actually have like answers. But I don't know, yeah. Like that's what's been going on. Life has been strange. I've been trying to date or at least get dick down. Have you bought any new fragrance? I don't know if you talked about fragrances. I haven't. Honestly, I've been getting rid of a lot of my fragrances. I've been having a lot of issues with headaches and allergies. And there were like a significant amount of the fragrances in my collection that every time I wore them, I would get headaches, which sucked because previously like I didn't have any problems. So if anything, I've been kind of downsizing. And because of the headache problems, I haven't really been purchasing fragrance because I don't want to spend money on something and then have to give it away, you know? Because sometimes even just testing stuff, like I feel like when I test stuff like on the little sprayers or like the blotters or whatever, I don't get the full effect of the scent bubble. And so sometimes I will, well, a lot of times I will try something from a sample or whatever, wear it, and I don't have any issues. But when I get a full bottle with that full sprayer, it'll knock me out. So I've been trying to be careful. There are a lot of fragrances I want to add to my collection. but I haven't. So basically, if it hasn't been sent to me, I haven't purchased anything. And the main brands that I do get sent stuff from time to time is Skylar and Kayali. They haven't sent me their new wedding collection. They sent me the pistachio gelato. And they sent me, I think it was like, is it Musk 12 or something like that a while ago? And I really liked that one, but I gave it to a friend because it was more her style. But yeah, purchasing stuff, I feel like I just need to be careful for a minute. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if it's hormonal or if it's allergy, but it's been making fragrance shopping very unfun. What was your favorite Little Mermaid soundtrack from the movie? Okay, I'll be honest, y'all, I haven't seen it. I haven't listened to the soundtrack. I have basically been watching all the little girls living their best lives, going to go see it, but I haven't gone to see it. I haven't been to a movie theater since around the time Black Panther came out. Yeah. I basically wait for everything to hit, streaming service. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was it Big? The one with Marseille Martin? It might have been the last one that I saw, but I haven't been to a theater in a long time. So I won't see it until it's hit streaming. And I'll probably just pay to watch it on Disney Plus. Did you get the new Cali fragrance? No, but I want to. I've heard that they're really, really good, especially is it Silk Santal? Yeah. But the Velvet one is the one that really intrigues me. But you guys know I like really dark, sensual, like smooth scents. And I'm really excited to try that because I just love Mona's nose. Like, I feel like the fragrances that she comes up with fit like what I love in a perfume. And I feel like most of the time the fragrances that she comes out with just suit me very well. That sucks. I did try the Skylar Blueberry Note. I have the big bottle. I love it. It's amazing. I love that fragrance. And it's one that I wear constantly. I actually wear it to bed a lot. I find it to be very comforting. But I wear it out a lot too. It's a really great summer scent to wear out. But it's weird because I can still wear a lot of strong fragrances and have no issues. Like, there was like a good month in January where the only thing I was wearing was Black Orchid. Black Orchid is strong, but it doesn't give me a headache. So I'm like trying to figure out if it's anything specific. A lot of things with sandalwood notes do bother me because a lot of brands overdo the sandalwood, but I haven't been able to pinpoint anything. I have the feeling that I may just have to start getting allergy tested. But if I'm being honest, I don't even feel like that will help because perfume is just a bunch of chemicals in a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't say that in like a bad way, like a, like marketing scheme kind of way. But like it is, like it's just a bunch of chemicals in a bottle. And a lot of those things are synthetic because it's not ethical to source them naturally. So, I don't know. But like it amazes me that like I can wear Black Orchid or I can wear Velvet Orchid, but like what was one of the fragrances that I just got rid of? I had to get rid of my Insolence from Guerlain. I love that fragrance. I can't wear it. It makes me sick. And I've had it for a minute. The only great thing was that like I was able to like basically recoup all the money I spent on it because I had the vintage like B bottle edition. So I just sold it because so many people are trying to get the B bottles because, they've repackaged a lot of stuff at Guerlain. But yeah, I had to get rid of that. And that is not anywhere near as strong as like Black Orchid, So I'm not quite sure what it is specifically. And I don't know if it's something I'll ever actually be able to pinpoint, but I hope that this is just a phase, honestly, because I love my fragrances. I love trying lots of different things. But if you start getting sick from perfume, it's really hard to like be open to trying new stuff. Yeah, you haven't seen it either. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it. Honestly, I just kind of wanted to give the kids their moment. And as much as I love children, I get easily overstimulated. And I'm not trying to be in a movie theater with a bunch of kids. I'm just being honest. Um, the silk santal is amazing. I couldn't smell it after an hour. It was a skin scent for me, but when I tell you I got compliments all day. Yeah, I feel like the thing about Kayali is it's interesting because I feel like sometimes I become anosmic to some of their scents, but people compliment me all day. So the fragrance must be lasting, you know? But I've heard that the silk is amazing. So if I can get my hands on the silk santal, I would like to. But I also want to know what that velvet do. I want to smell both of them because just Mona just does no wrong in my opinion. I feel like Kayali is just so heavily judged as a brand because a lot of people are just snobs, you know. But I mean, new brands and stuff come around every day, and I feel like she's kind of made like her mark in the industry. And I think she's shown that like she is serious about her brand and that she's going to give us quality time and time again. And I think for the quality of it, I think the cost of her fragrances are pretty good. So I'm a mom to a toddler and I don't want to be in there with them either. No, I feel you. It's nothing against the kids, but I also can't stand adults that go places where they know kids are going to be and then like bitch at the kids. Like why are you there? You knew this was a kid space and you still pulled up. So don't blame the kids. You brought your butt here. You could have just waited. You could have stayed at home and you could have waited. But I just get overstimulated in general being out in public with just regular adults. So, you know, it's no offense to the kiddos. I love the kiddos, but sometimes they're a lot. But yeah, I haven't been out to like see any movies or anything, nothing new. I like the velvet. It's a perfect unisex scent. Okay, yeah. And y'all know I love a unisex scent. Like, I think I wear my unisex scents more than I wear like my more so like feminine, like marketed towards women scents. With the exception of Mon Guerlain from Guerlain and Dolce & Gabbana Parfum. Those are the two like very much like marketed, like angled hardcore to women fragrances that I wear and rock like all the time. And I get tons of compliments on them. I need to repurchase Mon Guerlain because I'm almost out. I'm actually almost out of several fragrances. And I need to get new bottles. I probably need to do like an empties video, like perfume edition, because I have at least 6 bottles that are almost empty. That says a lot because I have a lot of perfume. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully like my nose and my head will start to like calm down. Or if I'm allergic to something, maybe hopefully I can find out what it is. Because I want to try more fragrances. Like I really want to try Escapade Gourmand from Maison Mataha. I want to get more Parfums de Marly in my collection. I've had Oriana on my wish list for a while. And the newest one they came out with, Valaya, I got a sample of that and it smelled beautiful. It's like a really nice, fresh, clean floral. And I've been wearing a lot of really clean fragrances lately, especially with it being really hot outside. That one I really want to get my hands on. There's so many things from Xerjoff that I want to get, but I gotta move a little bit more carefully now, because y'all know I used to be able to just blind buy and have no issues. Like usually I can blind buy. It's not an issue for me. Most of the times, I would say 98% of the time, I can blind buy a perfume and I am 100% happy with my choice. I know what I like. But I don't know what's going to bother me anymore, and that is frustrating. So, and we don't have anything like a Nordstrom close. Like the closest Nordstrom is in Charlotte. And I hate going to Charlotte, so I just have to use my discernment and just hope that when I do purchase something, it doesn't bother me. But yeah, that's really all that's going on, y'all. We're just moving through life, reading books to escape said struggle life. I have been looking at new jobs, so I'm excited about that. There have been more job openings, not in Winston-Salem, but closer to Winston-Salem, because I just feel like right now I cannot justify driving 3 hours a day, you know, for work. An hour and a half to work and an hour and a half back. Like, that's a lot of money that I could be putting in my savings account. So a lot of things have come up just in the last couple of months, and I'm hoping that I will get pulled for some interviews soon. I'm not excited about having to do the whole job search thing again because job searching is really, really annoying. It's like a full-time job. But at the same time, I'm ready to stop working from home. And I mean, I knew that I never started working from home with the intention of only doing that. Like, I have never wanted to do influencing as a career or anything like that. So that was always temporary for me. Not that I'm ever going to drop YouTube, but as far as like being here like full time, working with different companies, I do a lot of stuff on the back end of things as opposed to like the front end camera stuff. But I'm just over it. I'm ready out of the house. I've been in this house too much. We've been through too much stuff. I need to be somewhere else, you know? I think the biggest thing for me is just going to be finding a job that fits where my body is now and finding a job where I can enjoy my career but also respect the needs of my body, because it is forever changed and I have to accommodate that, and I can't go back to that mindset of working myself dead, you know? So I'm just trying to make good choices when it comes to job search stuff, you know? What field are you in, if you don't mind me asking? So I have a degree in environmental sustainability, and all of that is focused on plant biology. So when I was previously working in my field, I was working in agronomy and plant research. Now I am looking at other avenues because as much as I love doing that, the physical labor isn't something that I can maintain anymore. I have also worked in environmental advocacy as well. So I have worked in that area as well. And I'm kind of looking at both and trying to figure out what is going to work best for me. Ideally, I prefer working more so on the science end of things. I prefer the STEM end of things as opposed to being in the advocacy part. Because I am a people person, but I like hands-on jobs. I'll be honest, I'm a dirty job kind of girl. I am. But my body doesn't really suit that lifestyle anymore. So, you know, working with, you know, Farmer George is not going to be the life that I can live anymore. You know, that's what I was doing before. I was doing field research on farms. And I love that shit, but I can't work like that anymore. So, right now I'm looking at several research positions in the environmental field, a few things that are in construction, and I'm going to have to talk to them and find out how labor intensive that actually is, because while they are very cool jobs, I have to know that my body can sustain what needs to be taken care of. And then there are a couple of things in specifically parasitology that I've been looking at as well, so we'll see. I just want to just move on. Like, I'm just ready to move on with my life. I feel like I've put a lot of things on hold for a lot of people. I have allowed my needs to be kind of trampled by other people. And so I'm just kind of in my era of I'm going to do what I need to do for me. And if you don't like it, fuck it, you know? I'm just ready to move on. I'm ready for the next chapter of my life. I feel like I've done a lot of healing. I've done a lot of work to just be better and be healthy. And I'm just ready to move on with my life. So we'll see what happens. I just don't want to have to work an hour and 30 minutes away from my home because I'm just not ready to move yet. And I don't feel like my mom has enough support to be in this house alone, because she does not live alone, but if I left, she might as well be alone. And that's kind of, if y'all saw my last Get Ready With Me video talking about the state of like my family and everything, you understand what I mean. So like, as far as supporting my mom and making sure that she is healthy and getting what she needs, I don't feel comfortable being that far away from her at a job, and I don't feel comfortable relocating right now. So I have to find something that's close enough and makes enough sense, because I don't feel like spending all that money on gas. At some point I would like to move back to Raleigh, but I got to make sure that my mama's good before I commit to making a move. And I don't mind making that concession. I know she doesn't want me to like build my life around what she needs, but at the same time, like, that's my mama. I only got one mama. I can get another job. I can't get a new mom. So, you know, I can make things work and find something else that makes me happy, but I can't replace my mother. And that's just what that comes down to. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. But it's getting late and I can feel the sinus medication wearing off. So I feel like I should probably go ahead and wrap it up for the night. But I'm really happy that y'all were able to pop up. I just, in my mind, I was like, I need to get on live and just talk to my people. I felt like I hadn't talked to you guys in so long. I would like to say that I'm going to get back on a schedule. That would be a lie. So I'm not going to promise you guys I'm going to get back on a schedule because I just know it's not going to happen. I'm going to try to post as much as I can. But if life keep lifing like this, schedule just ain't going to be a schedule. So yeah, I really enjoyed being able to catch up with you guys. Like I said, I will have Book and Breakfast up tomorrow. And I have tons of other filming that I need to do. I do have some other natural hair videos that I do plan on getting up. You guys have another styling video, the African Pride video. I promised that to you guys. It's half filmed. I wasn't able to finish filming it last week, so I'm going to try to finish filming it, and I'll post that this week. So you guys will have styling content. And then you're also going to get some like summer product content as well, because I owe you guys some of that. And then some more bookish stuff. So we're just going to keep it like hodgepodge over here. I'm very much anti-niche right now. I kind of just want to post whatever I want to post and not care. I don't care about the views. I don't care about the money. I just want to post what I like. And I appreciate that you guys like what I like. So yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. And I will see y'all in tomorrow's video. Night, guys.